Hello there, hello there, hello there, hello there. Welcome back to the Agostino Zinga Show with your host, Agostino Zinga, and this is episode number 837. That is Ocho Tres Siete of the Agostino Zinga Show, coming at you live and direct from an undisclosed location somewhere within the depths of London. How you doing? How you feeling, people? Great, amazing, good to know, good to hear, good to know, good to hear. How am I feeling? All things are well. Cannot complain, cannot complain. Big up everybody else out there who's probably going through far worse trying times than I at the moment. Keep your head up. The year is about to end. This terrible, terrible year is about to come to a close, and 2025 will be brighter, will be better, will be nicer, small, whatever else on top of it. You know how it is. You know how it is. Now, you know what's really funny, right? You know what's really funny? You know what's really, really, really funny? I was just thinking earlier on today about my friend Natalya. Big up Natalya, big up Vlad. Two incredible people that I met in the scene back in the day. Two DJs who are now a beautiful married couple with two kids. No, one already born, one on the way. So congratulations to both of them. And I was running around the city with them for a long period of time. I DJed with Natalia for a while back in the not back in the day, a few years ago, when we used to do this really cool little night in in this pub in East London somewhere. That was hilarious, right? We used to do this night. We used to kind of plan on there like basically every week playing there, which was full of surprises, full of interesting things, mostly empty, but still a great time to practice and to kind of get used to playing in front of a crowd. And yeah, man, a lot of good things kind of came out of that. So I really respect those two lovely people a lot. And there was a time where me and Natalia would be having some very spirited, very passionate debates about the scene and about how to, hustle, how to make your dreams happen, all this malarkey. And I was very much on the side of saying this. This is my argument to Natalia. Big up Natalia, wherever she is. Love you always, especially you and Vlad. Love them both, right? But I would always argue to Natalia and say that one of the good things about having a full-time job, if you're a creative or you're like trying to do your own thing, is that it gives you security. It gives you like a bit of a cushion. It gives you a bit of, in terms of financial, because you're getting paid. And it also, I felt like, gives you a bit of structure, because the days that you're in, usually Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, 9 to 6, means that you have to now fit what you want to do like outside of work. No, what you want to do basically for your life, you need to fit it outside of your work. You got to make the hours work for you, because you have limited amounts. So it kind of forces you to be resourceful. It forces you to hustle. It forces you to work. That's what I used to say. Yeah. And she would always push back at me and say, nah, that's actually not the right way to go about it. And how she would go about it, which I thought at the time was crazy, was that she would work like crappy, let's say like bar jobs and stuff, right? Like, those type of jobs that you can get very, very easily for 6 months, save a bunch, or let's say a couple, anywhere from 2 months to 6 months. She then save a bunch of money and then use that money to pursue her dreams for another 6 months. And then when it runs out, go again to get another job. Or if the dream works out, then just continue with the dream. That's what she would do. And I would be like, oh, that's too risky. It's putting way too much, pressure on, pursuing the thing that you want to pursue. It doesn't give you any kind of wiggle room. And it just seems like a weird use of your time when you could be just working a career at the same time, making your way that way, so that if your dream doesn't work out, you still got a quote unquote career to fall back on. Now, I'm starting to think she might have been right. Now that I've kind of got this new job and I'm working fucking 9 to 6 most days, I've started to understand, especially with work, working out or before work or working out after work. Jesus, by the time I get back home, honestly, maybe it's because of the weights I'm lifting, maybe it's because of age, I don't really know, or maybe because I'm just not running as hot as I was in the past. Before, I was probably like, fueled by a lot of, multivitamins, by a lot of alcohol, so I was allowing me to just keep steaming through. But now I'm finding myself, I'm beginning to find it very, very difficult to balance the two things. Very, very difficult to find time to do those things, to find time, because in the past I'd wake up early and just bang out a couple of pods, bang out some writing, do whatever needs to be done, work out in the morning for an hour and a half before I head off to work, and then come back and run, and then come back and record, and then come back and DJ. All these type of things I was fitting into one day. nowadays when I come back home, the last thing I want to do is create or make things or engage my brain. I just wanted to turn it off, which is now also reminding me why I can now understand why people like to watch trash TV. You know, I'd always kind of take the piss out of people who do watch like stuff like Love Island, stuff like 90 Day Fiance, things like Big Brother, and be like, oh, the Kardashians. Like, how could you like be rotting your brain like this? But it makes a lot of sense now. When you spend, you know, let's say 8 hours per day, maybe 40 hours, whatever else you may be working plus, the last thing you want to be doing is going back home and engaging your brain with something, you know, intellectual, something mentally taxing, something creative, whatever it may be. You don't want that. You just want to turn off your brain. So what better way to do it than to put on a bit of 9 Day Fiance and just sit back and relax, because you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do no heavy lifting. You just sit there and enjoy it. So I'm starting to think maybe I was incorrect of my thoughts, incorrect of my perspective, and maybe what I was saying to Natalya back in the day was kind of correct, but it's also time sensitive, it's also age sensitive, it's also, you know, period of your life sensitive. There's only a certain amount of time when you can kind of burn the candle at both ends, and at some point, you know, it's gonna you're gonna start feeling it, especially if you're doing it properly. I think if you're not doing it properly and you're kind of doing it half-hearted, then of course it won't really matter. But if you're actually trying to, you know, because I feel like nowadays I'm not like before. I'm not like not trying to be a good employee. You know, in the past I'd like not really care about the jobs and just be like, you know, turning up and clocking in and clocking out. But nowadays I'm trying to do a good job. You know, if promotions are in my way, or if opportunities to move teams, move departments are in my way, I'm taking them. I'm being, you know, I'm being, let's say, like active in the office, because a lot of people, you know, I'm sure some of you guys know this. Unfortunately, in the work environment, it's not really how good you are, what you do. It's mostly about how you get on with people, which is a real shame. It should always be about how competent you are at the job, but it's never really about that. The job interviews are never really about that, right? Job interviews mostly, I would imagine, again, I've never been, you know, I've never hired anybody, and I'm not a recruiter or anything, but I'd imagine a lot of job interviews, they probably decide who they're going to take maybe within a 5 seconds, or maybe first 5 minutes of your interview. And sometimes it's not even down to your experience. It's just down to, okay, do they like you? Will they get along with you? Do they think you're going to be a good fit in the office? And I think a lot of those things is really important. So when you're actively trying to do a good job, when you're actively trying to work, when you're actively also trying to take part in the social side of work, it's really difficult to come back home and start doing your dream or pursuing your quote unquote dreams. It's super difficult. I found it anyway recently, which is probably the reason why the frequency of the pods and the streams have kind of flagged or lagged in the last few weeks and stuff, because it's just been hard to balance both of those things, plus the working out and shit. It's just been like, oh. So I need to figure out a plan to kind of make it work, but I'm starting to think slowly but surely, maybe my dear Natalya, maybe Vlad, you know, maybe these people are actually right. Maybe it is probably beneficial to kind of, you know, you're kind of killing yourself by working some of these crappy jobs for crap money, but then obviously they don't really require much from you, right? Being a bar back, being a bartender, working in a restaurant, working in a record store, whatever, they don't require much of you. You just got to be competent enough to turn up on time and do enough of a good job. But what they do allow you to do is kind of like, you know, float in, float out, float in, float out, earn a bit of money and keep it moving. I have more financial security, I have more maybe job security and shit, but it's also taking up a lot of my time. You know, 9 to 6 basically means what? I have to leave my house latest at like 8 or something, and wake up, what, I don't know, 7, 6. Do you know what I mean? It's already taken so much time in the morning, and then on the way home, it's, you know, you're just tired, you just want to lie down and kind of get your, you know, your feet out of your shoes and shit, and change out of your work gear. So it's a bit mad. It's a bit mad. But I'll figure it out in the end. But it is a bit mad. And I just thought back to myself as well. Like, imagine the people that do this that have like families and shit. Imagine people that are like, you know, single mothers, like single father. Imagine people that do this sort of stuff, and they honestly have a family they're trying to balance. Like, I don't know how people do it, man, because it's so taxing, especially with you. And I'm lucky too, I don't really have a social circle. I don't really have friends like that, so I don't really have anyone pulling me in different directions about, hey, come out, do this, do that, you know. So it makes it a lot more easy to just kind of stay on my own. But god damn it, imagine if you had a family, imagine if you had a pet, imagine if you had, like, you know, friends. Oof. But anyway, what can you do? It is what it is. On one hand, you start crying about unemployment, and next hand you get it and you realize, oh shit, that's why people don't like these things, isn't it? Because they're so time taxing. But hey, It is what it is. It is what it is. Nothing comes for free. Nothing comes for free. Moving on. Talking about nothing coming for free. There has to be a little bit of etiquette involved in afters, isn't it? The etiquette of an afters is very, it's kind of unwritten, but I'd say the etiquette of afters are usually, let's say one of the main etiquettes of an afters is probably never inviting anybody to an afters who didn't arrive at the afters together with the group. So if some random person asks you, oh, hey, what are you doing? Can I come to the afters? Don't vouch for your friend to come to the afters, especially if they're steaming, because you never know what type of mood, what type of state they're going to come in, and they might end up embarrassing you, and then they might end up ruining your reputation with those people. So whoever you got to the afters with, like, you know, usually if you're smart, you kind of, you know, you don't get too smashed up, so that you can maybe befriend somebody in the club who then you can kind of latch onto, and then at the end of the club they'll be like, hey, do you want to come to mine? And then there you're there. But you should never really, even if they're your friend, even if you know the person, you should never vouch for somebody after the fact, because you never know how they might appear. Another aspect I think of the afters, which is an unwritten rule, a rule that we all should know, an unwritten rule that we all should know, at, you know, in terms of good afters etiquette, is to never record. I don't know about you, but no one ever needs to tell me that you're not meant to be recording people, taking pictures, whatever, at afters. At the very least, if you're going to record, maybe don't share the pictures and the video with people outside of the afters, you know? Maybe just keep it to the afters crew, maybe. That might be a good way to kind of deal with things, but that's not the case. So the reason why I'm mentioning this is because a Premier League referee, yes, you guessed it, an English Premier League referee has been exposed for saying some disparaging things about the teams in the Premier League and the manager, which is obviously, you know, not the best thing to do. And I think it might actually be illegal as a referee to kind of speak openly about other clubs like this, because it means that you might have a bias and whatever it may be. It went kind of viral on my side of social media, and for me it just exposed the lack of common decency, the lack of respect, you know, that occurs in nightlife with some people, where they need to be told explicitly, hey, what you're doing is kind of lame. Because I think most people know that you're not meant to record people at afters. You're meant to kind of keep that stuff private. You're meant to just enjoy it in the moment, and you're not meant to release this type of stuff to the public. But they did, and if anything, they've destroyed this guy's life, because he's been suspended by the Premier League. He most likely will get fired, and then he'll have to find a whole nother career outside of doing this, or maybe he'll move to Middle East and start refereeing over there. But regardless, they've destroyed this guy's career, all because they wanted a bit of social media clout on the internet. It's absolutely disgusting, I feel like, because, you know, he didn't really say nothing that bad anyway, right? But just for likes and giggles, they'd share this stuff anyway. So this is the clip that went viral on my side of social media. It features Premier League referee David Coote, or David Coote, saying some disparaging stuff about Liverpool and their former manager Jurgen Klopp. So let me play it for you so you can hear what he was saying, and then I'm going to continue on.
The Liverpool game earlier when you were fourth official.
Liverpool was shit.
What do you think of Jurgen Klopp?
Cunt, absolutely.
What would you say? Why would you say that Jurgen Klopp was a cunt?
Aside from having a right pop at me when I ref them against Burnley in lockdown, then he accused me of lying, and then just had a right fucking pop at me, and I've got no interest in speaking to someone who's fucking arrogant. So I do my best not to speak to him. Milner's alright. I get on with so
James Milner. You get someone James Milner.
You can see me there with mask on.
Yeah. Mask on, obviously.
Yeah. COVID got to be done. Social distancing, right? We're 2 meters apart.
We have to social distance.
Yeah. So, but oh my god, German cunt, fuck me.
Long story short, Jurgen Klopp's a cunt. Liverpool are all fucking belly.
So as you can tell, this guy is the one responsible for the release. Obviously, this is an old video based on them talking about COVID rules and stuff. So this was definitely filmed around the COVID era, which makes it even more sickening, because most likely the situation you could imagine would be that this kid or somebody connected with him got a hold of that footage and was trying to blackmail the referee. Most likely it's what was happening. And the referee, obviously, like a good egg, wise decision, decided not to be blackmailed, decided not to pay the ransom, said whatever, and they released the footage, and now here we are in this situation. So I think the person to blame is definitely this kid or someone connected to him, because again, who knows, maybe he didn't release it, maybe somebody found his phone, got it hacked into his iCloud, whatever may happen. But I just think the idea of sitting at afters, they're probably both steaming too, that's a funny thing, right? It sounds like they're in afters, or they're doing some sort of like house party thing, maybe during COVID because none of the clubs are open, but it does sound like they're alone in that room together. I didn't really hear much other noise in the background from other people. So, you know, two dudes in a room together alone, you know, what's going on there? So in a weird way, exposing this guy has maybe exposed himself in a way as well. But I just think with that aside, who gives a fuck, sexuality, whatever they got, you know, they're coming out or not. The main thing is that this kid is recording somebody in a situation that you don't need to record. The beauty of an afters is the nature of you just being there and experiencing that moment for what it is, because you can't really replicate it. A video, if anything, recording yourself at an afters, in my opinion, is only going to make you depressed. It's only going to make you question all your life choices, like sitting there in a room full of strangers, trying to split or trying to spread like half a gram of whatever else that you have left onto some sort of kitchen table, while you overhear the people who own the house arguing in the background, or you depressingly hear a baby upstairs crying or something, or a kid comes downstairs while you're mid racking up some flipping multivitamins and says, you know, daddy, can I have something to eat for breakfast, please, or something, right? Like crazy situations like that. You're meant to experience them for how depressing and how eye-opening, right, and how dark and bleak they are for what they are. If you record that, it's just going to make it worse. So you just leave the recording alone. You're not going to look nice during that recording of you being at an afters, because most likely you are up for fucking however many hours, you know, completely blasted out of your mind. So you're not going to be in a good state. No one looks attractive. No one looks cool. You all look like losers. You all should be at home with your families under your duvet, having a shower, having a good breakfast, getting out and having some sunlight. But instead, you've got all the blinds closed in this apartment somewhere in the depths of South London, and you're desperately, frantically looking at your phones, checking your contact list for a dealer that can get to you at 8 a.m. in the morning. You know, it's all bad. It's all bad across the board, but it's meant to be experienced in the situation, in situ, sorry. It's meant to be experienced in situ. It's not meant to be recorded, and that footage is not meant to be, decimated between people. That's not what it's meant to be. It's meant to be experienced. Leave the afters for the afters. Don't expose people. It's absolutely lame. Next video.
Just to be clear, that fucking last video can't go anywhere. Seriously.
He's a Premier League referee. Let's not fucking ruin his career. Like, let's face it, we're good blokes, but we can't ruin a bloke's career. Like, we're not that bad. Also, he's a fucking legend.
So yeah.
So let's not
ruin his career, but then here he is ruining his career. It's absolutely heinous, man. Like, I don't know about you, but I've been, especially maybe Berghain's kind of taught me that. But the amount of times I've been in Berghain, I've seen like really proper famous people in there. And, you know, given all the content I make about that place, given all the content I make about, or I make about Berlin in general, given the amount of yapping time I've spent on the internet, you've never once heard me speak about these people, because it's not necessary. It's not needed. Those type of places that you go into them because of the anonymity. You go into them because of the privacy, and because of the ability to just, like, you know, dive on deep into a pool of kind of hedonism without having to worry about someone recording you. And the fact that everyone's phone is covered kind of helps, but, you know, you don't really you don't fucking tittle-tale, you know, you just keep it to yourself. Or tattletale, sorry. You just keep it to yourself. You don't go and just start speaking about everyone's business. It's not necessary. You can experience what you're experiencing without naming names. Like, even this particular story could have been told without naming names. It could have been told without, you know, recording a video. But I think some people are just so desperate, like they don't really. And I've also wondered if, like, this is kind of part of the reason why a lot of celebrities are so guarded and so hesitant to kind of communicate or hang out with fans and just chill, because I'd imagine most people are like this guy. Most people don't know how to hang in general. Think about all your friends, right? And we all have them. Think about your friends. There's at least there's at least 2 to 5 people in your friendship group who are liabilities. We all have them, right? They're liabilities. You have to you know, look after them. You have to check their bags, make sure they got their phones and their keys, make sure their phones are charged. You have to kind of make sure they're not getting their drinks fucked with, or some random dude isn't trying to talk. Like, you just have to always keep an eye on them. And these are grown adults. We all have those friends. So I think if that's the case, it would lead me to believe that the majority of people don't know how to hang, whether it's with their friends or famous people. They don't have to just chill. They don't have to be in a room with people who are maybe got some level of fame and notoriety and not take their phone and ask for a picture, or overly fucking bother them, or ask them about this movie they filmed, or this it's like, bruh, just leave them alone. Relax. Maybe have a normal conversation about the weather, about something you saw on TV that doesn't involve them, something you might have saw on the news. I don't know, some game you're playing, your kid, whatever, anything apart from talking about them. But I think most people just don't have the ability to do that. That's why we're in the situation we're in. Anyway, the development on this obviously story is really sad, because now that Premier League referee has been suspended, courtesy of Sky News here. Premier League referee David Coote has been suspended after a video appeared to show him insulting Liverpool FC and Klopp. So he has been suspended now, according to Sky News. Let's play the video that reports on it, and then we can continue on.
It was only a couple of hours ago that this video first emerged on social media. The refereeing body PGMOL started looking into it and then very swiftly announced that they had decided to suspend David Coote, saying that he was suspended pending a full investigation. They're not going to be making any comment until that process is complete. But certainly this video, which started to circulate, showing a referee who's been at the top of his game for 8 years in the Premier League, making some apparently very disparaging comments, and we can take a listen to it now.
What did you think of the Liverpool game earlier when you were fourth official?
Liverpool.
What do you think of Jurgen Klopp?
Absolutely.
So he's making comments there about Jurgen Klopp, who left Liverpool as manager in the summer. So the PGMOL is trying to exactly verify when this video apparently was recorded, but David Coote was refereeing still at the weekend, managing Liverpool's 2-0 victory over Aston Villa. So this certainly will raise questions about his very future in the game. And while it might seem unusual for some to be talking about a referee rather than the players, we have seen in recent years players themselves often gain a status and profile on the same level as some of the players at times, with their appointments to matches being debated and discussed by players, managers, and indeed fans, discussing in terms of how a referee might be suitable or not for their match. But certainly this video, highly embarrassing for the Premier League, as they try to assess the veracity, the authenticity, and indeed the very nature of this video.
Veracity, authenticity, it's real, bro. It's real. We've all seen it. We know what happened. Like I said, I just think the kid who did it is an absolute piece of shit, is an absolute prick, and he deserves everything that's coming to him, in my personal opinion. Going around recording people like this in the first place is a no-no. Sharing it in any way, even if it wasn't him, even if it was inadvertently him, whoever happened to share it, you're an absolute piece of shit, and people should respect people's privacy in these type of moments and just enjoy. You know, imagine you're in afters and suddenly you're hanging around some Premier League referee. I don't know, chew his ear off about football. I don't know. Ask him how he got started in the game. I don't know. Talk about other things. Have that story to share with your friends or about the pub somewhere. Oh my God, you'll never guess who I was with the other day. And just have that story just be that story. Some people won't believe you, but it's a story that you can share with your friends, that they'll go and share with other people, and it can have its own legend in that regard. We don't need to record people. You don't need to fuck up their lives just because they wanted to sit down and have a kind of conversation with you. It's absolutely out of order in my personal opinion. But again, what do I know? Absolutely nothing. One thing I do know about, though, is not being an idiot and not doing dumb, lame things on the internet. That's one thing I do know about. So I'm confused about people on social media, specifically the app called Instagram, who are doing these notes things. And in the last few days, I've recently realized that this has become very prevalent, especially in my DMs. I've been checking my DMs from time to time, big up the people who have been reaching out and stuff and sending me some nice words of encouragement about the pod and whatever else it may be regarding Tazs and Random Show. I appreciate every single one of you. And from time to time, I'll log into my account and check my DMs, and I'll have these weird bubble things above the DMs with this, like, so it's got somebody's profile picture, and then above the profile picture from Instagram, it's got this little bubble, like that little speech bubble. And inside contains like a little update, a little like mood update, a status update. And recently it's been really aggravating me because I felt like, I think one time I logged in, there was like 3 rows of bubbles, 3 rows of Instagram update things, whatever it's called, notes on my page that was taking up more space than the DMs itself. And it seems like I can't turn this feature off. I don't know how it turned on. I don't know who asked for this feature. And if anything, the annoying thing about it is that every time I see these bubbles and I see certain people who keep updating their statuses via these Instagram notes, I judge them very harshly. And I think to myself, like, I can never respect you. I can never respect you as an adult. I can never respect you as a human if you're going to update a status on Instagram. If you're going to send these little bubble Instagram tweet things, especially some person I saw the other day who will go unnamed, you know who you are, who posted, oh, I'm in such and such location. Who's about? Who wants to hang? Motherfucker, like, what are you doing? Just do what everyone else does. Just do what everyone else on the internet does. And post a picture of yourself at the location on your Instagram stories, geotag it, and say, oh my God, I'm so happy to be on holiday or something, and then wait for the DMs. Don't post a really lame speech bubble update thing, literally begging for company, begging for a heads up, begging for some attention like that. It's so uncouth. It's so lame. But the nature of the update itself, the nature of the Instagram note thing is just preposterously lame. There's nothing about it that's cool. Absolutely nothing about it. And I really, really do wonder what goes through people's heads to post this. Like, I wonder what goes through people's heads to post an Instagram note. Listen to how it sounds vis-a-vis Instagram, vis-a-vis Instagram themselves. Listen to how this fucking thing sounds. Notes gives you the space to share updates, thoughts as short posts with certain people. You can share up to 1 note with others on Instagram. Your note will appear on the top of the inbox of Instagram messaging and above your profile picture in your profile. Is it not enough that Instagram have completely bastardized and butchered the main feed so that organic content doesn't reach there anymore, and most of it is just like regurgitated memes that you've seen on Twitter? Is it not enough that essentially Instagram has turned into an extension of Instagram Reels and isn't really about pictures anymore? Is it not enough that most people, some people that I know as friends, some people that I would, you know, see as good people, are now posting sponsored content for their holiday pictures because they're afraid it won't get enough traction or engagement? Isn't that depressing enough? That now I have to log into my Instagram account, check my DMs, and I've got these weird bubble things about people's pictures with updates about their lives, and oh, I'm so stressed, I really need a drink, oh, my baby won't shut up, the dog just shit in my bed, blah blah. It's like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck? And I feel like, I don't know if it's just me, because I use Twitter, I use X quite a lot, and I feel like I've seen way more emotional, way more crybaby bitch ass gay fucking tweets or updates on Instagram than I have on Twitter. I swear to God, I've seen more people bitching and crying about their lives on that Instagram notes thing than I do on Twitter, which is weird because Twitter obviously, and X is a place where you have your, you know, update statuses, text, whatever it may be. But I've seen way more people crying. Oh, this happened to me. I just lost my job. My car won't start in the morning. I wish somebody would send me £20. It's like, bruv, put down your phone and go outside, man. Go outside and beg in the streets like everyone else does. Go outside and hand out some series that everyone else does. Don't be posting up, hey, does anybody have a job for me? What? Who's gonna, who that's worthwhile, that's gonna actually, you know, be somebody that can affect your life in any meaningful way, is going to first log on to their Instagram, then check their DMs, then scroll up to the top, and then fucking click your picture, and that's like, who's gonna do that? Who the hell is going to do that? Come on, man. Fix up. Share a note. It says here, about your note. You and others will see your note at the top of the inbox in your profile for 24 hours, which is too much for me. Too much already. After this, so you got 24 hours worth of people's shitty stories, then you got 24 hours worth of their fucking shitty notes and their updates on their lives. Honestly. Please unalive me right now. After this time, your note will no longer be visible on Instagram. Your note can be deleted at any time by tapping on it, then tapping delete note. Please know, or people that see your note can like or reply to it. Only you can see who's liked it. Like, again, so they've created like another form of Instagram stories that just contains words. Is that what they're doing now? Don't we all post a whole page of words on our screens? Why do we need another app that contains? It's just like, oh my god, they've destroyed such a great app. It's destroyed. It's destroyed. You can see this list of people who liked your tweet by tapping on the note. Also, if you're the type of person that goes through your views to see who's liked to your pictures or to go see who's liked your stories, you're also a fucking loser. You also deserve to fucking run in the middle of oncoming traffic, in my personal opinion. Obviously, it's a joke, but you know what I mean. Oh, you know. Like, really, get a fucking life. Post and ghost like everyone else does. When people reply to your note, it will start a conversation between you. So another conversation. I can't just, so it's not enough to just you post your status. I have to now get into a conversation about you and you know, you feeling a bit blue on a Monday, you having a stressful Tuesday, horrible Wednesday. Like, go away. Notes that you share must follow Instagram community guidelines. When a note is reported, all the tools are reviewed, blah 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 blah. Well, you know what it means. Honestly, I just can't understand why people are posting these things. I really don't get it. I really don't get it. But I guess people's constant need to share their feelings, their thoughts and opinions, it just keeps driving them, innit? It really does keep driving, even when their thoughts and opinions they're sharing are complete and utter garbage and gobbledygook. I don't get it personally, but again, what do I know? Absolutely nothing. You know that. I don't know jack shit. I don't know jack shit. That's why you guys are here. I don't know anything. So, not knowing anything, I have to say, I think this girl's shtick is kind of getting boring. And I think this particular update, courtesy of the one and only, the viral OF creator known as Lily Phillips, Lillian Phillips, as her mother likes to call her, I think now we're heading to the point where she's running out of ideas. And it kind of shows the limits of like sex work and sex related content anyway. There's only so much you can do. So as some of you guys will know, I've been talking about Lillian Phillips and her friend called something blue, I forgot her first name, and they've gone very viral on my side of the internet, or in the UK in particular, because they do these really massive gangbang challenge things, right? And both girls are trying to set records. I think this girl in particular, Lily Phillips, has announced that she's trying to fuck 1,000 guys in one day. Her previous ones were doing like 10, then doing 100. So now, of course, naturally the 1,000 mark is coming. And then the other lady, Bonnie something, she's known for going to like university freshers and holding up a sign saying, hey, if you're a virgin and you want to fuck, come and link me. And then she'll have a queue of like, you know, young first years, you know, smashing, or she'd go to their dorm rooms and record footage just all over the place, right? Obviously I've checked some of this stuff for research, and you know, it's as bleak as you want to see. And a lot of the reason why they do it is for content to put on their OF. So it's a really smart marketing strategy. So they fuck these guys for quote unquote free. They get to like fuck them, of course, which is obviously a deal that they get, but in exchange they have to be willing to go on camera, but they just, you know, blur their faces or they film their feet, and then I guess that footage then goes on OF, and then people pay their monthly subscriptions, bloody bee bloody boo. Well, it looks like before the 1,000 challenge, Lily Phillips has got another thing that she's doing now, where she sent out, I guess there was a competition to fuck her or something. I don't know what the competition is about. If you had to write an essay, if you had to present some sort of deck that you could help her with social media. I don't know what the criteria was for this particular competition, but the person that won had a girlfriend, and the guy brought his girlfriend along, and this is the video. I don't know what more to say, but yeah, this is the video. Big up the Shade Borough.
Here has travelled all the way from Scotland with his missus because he won a competition to bonk me on the reality check show. So say goodbye to your missus because we're going. Come on then, off to the bedroom.
So first things first, the fact that that kid is wearing a Cobosly 444 label t-shirt is hilarious, right? The parallels and the links to the techno scene and the dance music electronic community is fucking hilarious, especially if you know about the amount of slaws, the amount of whores with a capital W that are about in that scene, especially that Cobosly kind of like hard dance techno scene thing where they stomp from right to left and they all wear their Go Faster glasses and they all have probably ancestors that were fucking Nazis and shit from back in the day, right? That type of community of people having links to this is fucking, you know, poetic in itself. But the video is funny because I don't even know if it's real, and I don't know if it matters. I don't even know if this kid is real. I don't know if that is actually his girlfriend. That could be his sister just cosplaying his girlfriend for content. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. But one thing I do know is that the ideas are starting to get a little bit boring. She's starting to run out of ideas, because I'm not really going to be outraged or shocked if you're fucking some guy that's got a girlfriend. Like, what? Like, why is that the line of like, oh my God, that's the shocking part of it? Bruh, you say you fucked 100 dudes in one day. You want to fuck 1,000 in a day. You bragged about smashing brothers, about smashing, dads and sons and shit. About smashing granddads, taking that, like, why should this be the shock one? Oh my God, this little, this fresh-faced young kid has got a girlfriend. It's like, most of these guys that probably smash you probably have girlfriends and wives. It just is what it is. It's like, why should we be outraged at this particular thing? I just think she's running out of ideas. I think this is probably the opportunity for the guys out there that probably want to work with her and get close and work in this industry. Forget trying to smash, actually go there with ideas. So maybe it might be beneficial if you want to get involved in this industry to prepare a little pitch deck, prepare a one sheet of ideas, content that you could give people like her and her friend, to kind of refresh this thing that she's doing, because I feel like it's starting to lose some steam. It's starting to, because the numbers were what people were getting crazy about. The number, oh my God, look how many guys she's fucking in a day. What about STDs? What about morality? Oh my God, blah 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 blah. And then the other one, oh my God, you're going to university, you are literally abusing these kids. Imagine if that was a man. This was conversations were getting sparked from this sort of thing. So I think this sort of content doesn't really do much to spark conversation and to kind of act as rage bait, because it's like, really? This kid looks like he's probably 19, 20 at most. Maybe they have a different relationship with fame and clout. I don't know. Maybe it's mutually beneficial. Maybe the girlfriend gets involved in the footage too. We don't know. Who cares? This is not outrageous. I'm not outraged. I don't really care. But again, it shows that maybe she's running out of ideas. So if you do want to get involved, forget queuing outside of an Airbnb somewhere trying to smash this young lady. No, instead, queue outside of an Airbnb, not with a condom, with a USB key. Have a USB key in hand and say, like Chin said to Brendan Shaw that one time, go to her and say, I'm your guy. And she's, oh my God, you want to bonk me too? No bonk. We don't read the sign. We don't use that terminology. Say, I'm your guy. I'm going to be your new media person. I'm your new marketing person. I have all these ideas. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. And then you could be on her team, push out the ideas, fresh content, maybe some content you put on Lad Bible or whatever all these other platforms are, and then suddenly she becomes like a household name. But I feel like this is a little bit lame, in my personal opinion. Again, I could be wrong. I really could be wrong, but I feel like this is preposterously and unnecessarily lame. But I could be wrong, because I'm wrong with a lot of things. I really am wrong when it comes to a lot of things out there. Okay, cool, bless, move on. So this particular bit of news is interesting because I'm sure most of you guys have heard this album, and if you haven't heard this album, then I will tell you not to listen to it. Lil Uzi Vert dropped Eternal Atake 2, and it might be one of the worst albums that released this year. It's preposterously bad, like preposterously bad from front to back, from start to finish. Like, maybe there's like one good track on it, but for the majority of it, it's fucking shit. And it's really upsetting because I've always been a big Lil Uzi Vert fan, but the fall off has been demonstrably sad to watch in real time. Now, there's a theory going around with some Lil Uzi Vert fans who are trying to cope, and Lil Uzi Vert himself, who's refusing to accept accountability for making a shitty album, that this was all one big play, that he was taking inspiration from Frank Ocean, Finesse of his record label, where he famously was able to get out of his deal by dropping Blonde, and I forgot the other album back to back that got him out of the deal, and blah blah blah, and basically whatever. So they're basically trying to excuse the quality of the album by saying that this is a big play for him to get out of his label deal that he's been upset with and not happy with for a long time. When I think this is a cop-out, and it's not addressing the fact that you put shit work out there and disappointing the fans, as per usual when it comes to Lil Uzi Vert, kind of always flatters to deceive, in my personal opinion. Given all the potential, especially someone like Lil Uzi Vert, he's got so much great creative ideas, he's got so much great inspiration, and he clearly is a lover of music, into K-pop, rock, indie, all this other stuff that could easily be influenced and kind of seep into the music, but instead we just get the same sounding songs again and again and again. It's annoying. But this is the thread courtesy of Twitter, where somebody here, a Lil Uzi Vert fan, said the following: Lil Uzi Vert and how he finessed Atlantic Records. We all know Lil Uzi came out of a long hiatus from social media to quickly drop Eternal Atake 2, but it was actually a throwaway album. Continue with the thread. Let's continue. First, some are not convinced EA2 was Uzi's last album under contract. This story in late 2023 proves that Uzi only has one album left. He was referring to Love Is Rage 3 in the story, but he changed it to EA2. He might not actually have wanted to stain the Love Is Rage legacy. So this is a I guess Instagram story where he clarifies and says, why not stop now, because business doesn't work like that. I have one more album to turn in. After that, I'm finally gonna generally smile. I've been getting judged from day one. Never respond to negativity. I have talented, but I have a talented, but I also have a heart. I have been holding in a lot. I'm not as close to my family as I should be. My relationship isn't in the best shape. I just want to breathe. It continues. The months leading up to EA2, Uzi started wearing all white. All white represents a new start, new beginnings, cleansing, etc. This was proven when EA dropped the trailer EA2. As he stated, it's the beginning of a new era, alluding to independence from his label. Honestly, I love stans, man. I love stans. I love their ability to read into things that don't need to be read into. He was wearing white because he wanted to start afresh. Like, huh? Yeah? What? Okay. In addition to wearing all white, Uzi has made reference to Frank Ocean during a rollout, one reference being a similar hairstyle. Okay. On November 11th, Uzi also posted a story of Frank Ocean with the words CFO on the side. Why Frank is important to the case is because he dropped a throwaway album so he could get out of his label. Uzi referencing Frank means he's doing the same. The story above was the second time Uzi mentioned CFO. The first time was 4 days after EA2 when he removes the EA2 link and adds CFO. CFO stands for Chief Financial Officer, which means Uzi has control of his own moves as independent. Uzi removed the EA2 post 4 days after release and changed his profile picture to a foot of a teddy bear. This means that he does not care about promoting the album and does not want a label to make money. Uzi did not post anything advertising the merch either. One of the biggest clues we have is this alien picture symbolizing EA2 was a throwaway. It's the first picture under the inspiration tab under Uzi's new website. The lyrics at EA2 also provide many clues as to why Uzi doesn't care about dropping hits or getting a new contract. Let's see what this I don't care about the lyrics. More evidence is when EA2 shipped with I'm Cooked skit instead of We Good. People think that the label wanted EA to scrap the skit because it was too unserious. The EA2 trailer also shows Uzi as a show for other people and he is controlled by his label. The girl finally frees Uzi and he's able to enjoy life again as he is out of his contract. Like, come on people, man. Honestly, come on, man. Come on, bro. This thread shows that Uzi made it clear that escaping a major label was a major priority, and it's not hard to understand that EA2 being a throwaway album isn't a stretch. But the reality, there were many other people close to Uzi who were insinuated that he was doing as well. Thank you for reading. Please like, repost, comment, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, man. I just think all this stuff is insulting to the fans, personally. I think all this stuff is fundamentally insulting to the fans, and the fans are the ones that suffer the most off the back of this. That's a problem. The fans suffer the most because if, let's say this is true, let's say he did try and put out this Eternal Atake 2 album as a way to get out of his contract. Can you at least make the album good, please, for your fans? Yes, you understand how the business works and you're doing this little finesse, this little move in the background to get what you need to get out of it. But the fans also need music for you because they love you. They like you as an artist. You're the soundtrack to their lives. You've shaped a lot of parts about how they live, views, whatever, their taste. Maybe just put out good music. And to me, I feel like this is a combination of, maybe 5+ years of just kind of going through the motions with Lil Uzi Vert. I felt like a lot of these rappers are doing the same thing, and that's probably the reason why rap is kind of failing and is kind of down at the moment. And I don't think there's one rap album nominated for the Grammys, for instance, and just generally the listenership has kind of gone down because I feel like a lot of the guys at the top took the piss. They weren't really doing a lot of fan service. A lot of the shows, especially some of the Lil Uzi Vert performances, were shockingly bad. Him just jumping around on stage, screaming over the top of an MP3, not actually performing. Terrible low effort shows. And the music was equally as bad. not really investing in trying to broaden the music he's offering to provide better shows, provide better experiences, just complete and absolute dog shit and doing the bare minimum to get the maximum results, turning up with one DJ, not much visuals, and just kind of, you know, just pressing play and kind of going from there and hoping that you can cash in checks. And maybe even in Lil Uzi Vert's case, maybe the spectacle was there, but the performances were terrible. It didn't really match. Like, he'd have these amazing outfits on, this amazing kind of pyrotechnics, you know, screen show shit, but the show would never ever match the quality. No, the music would never match the quality of the show. That was one of the annoying things about Lil Uzi Vert's performances, and I feel like this album has been a, you know, has a kind of encapsulated all those things for me. So as much as I can maybe, you know, I can maybe give them the benefit of the doubt and say maybe there's some truth to this, a part of me also just doesn't care. I just don't care, man. The album was terrible. You're not going to try to excuse it and try to, you know, now sort of like backward rationalize it by saying that it was also one big play. You fucked up the fans, and if anything, you probably lost some fans in the sake of it as well, even though this still sold pretty well considering it was so rushed and shit. I think it got like 60,000 first week sales and shit, which, you know, kind of shows the power he has and the influence and the draw he has, despite, you know, maybe flattering to deceive. But Jesus Christ, the album was so fucking shit, so fucking shit, really disappointing. But again, what do I know? Absolutely jack crap. Talking about knowing jack crap. I really like Skepta, you know. I really like Skepta. I like everything he represents. I love him as an MC. He's probably one of a very few grime MCs who was able to kind of evolve and, you know, step out of that grime space and kind of make it as a legit artist, because I think a lot of those guys are some of the best lyricists and spitters that we have, but unfortunately some of them were unable to kind of make that transition into being a legit artist and, you know, and kind of cementing himself that way. I think he's got one of the best discographies in maybe UK music. Personally, I feel like all these albums are fucking bangers. I feel like they've aged so well. Listen back to some of them and they don't sound out of date. They sound very current. They sound very fresh. I also like the fact that Skepta doesn't try to sound like a kid, even though he's older. He always carries himself in a certain way. And I don't know, everything about him, the way he moves, the clothes, the fucking fashion, the marketing, you know, the fact that he's not really mixy like that. I like it. But I have to be honest, when it comes to his opinions and thoughts about things, he's a little bit dumb in certain things, isn't it? He completely misses the mark with some things. This being another example of it. So Skepta sat down with Ebro and spoke about how he didn't like the beef between Drake and Kendrick. And I felt like Skepta's remarks on this completely missed the point of battle rap, completely missed it. And if anything, to me anyway, felt like the reason why a lot of music isn't good at the moment, because people are too worried about corporate interest. They're too worried about upsetting sponsors. They're not really concerned with speaking from the heart, with producing stuff that they actually care and love about. They're too beholden to the people that put money in their pockets, which are the brands and the sponsors and shit, which then obviously negatively affects the art, which then, you know, means that we get shitter product, and obviously doesn't then go on to influence people and shit. So if anything, this to me shows the problem that the industry has at the moment. But listen to Skepta's thoughts on the beef between Kendrick Lamar and Drake, courtesy of Ebro's show.
I think it's changed, and probably this battle, what I just saw, is probably what is hit the nail on the head for me, where it's like, when stuff gets said like that now, today, it's more personal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's something about...
There was a lot of lying on it. There was a lot of lying. People was just saying...
There was one...
Shit, they was just saying shit.
There was one K-Dot diss track that came out, and I was like, oh, this is over. Like, this isn't rap. This isn't a rap diss and clashing anymore.
No, they don't like each other.
This is over. Like, They don't like each other.
Yeah.
Like, what does this even mean? There's a lot of lying, they don't like each other. Isn't that how most rap battles start? You don't like somebody, you call them out of their name, or you don't think they're a good MC, and then you go to battle. Sometimes you lie because lies are funny and might add a little extra dynamic to the battle themselves. Not everything has to be a stone cold truth. There could be some truth that could be twisted, you know, could be sprinkled with some dashing of lie, sea salt. But the whole reason why you battle somebody is because there's an element of dislike of that person, whether it's personal, whether it's just purely professional. the dislike is the basis of the entire battle. Like, that's the whole reason behind it. If anything, Kendrick Lamar's disdain of Drake as a person, I felt like has enamored him. Even to myself, I've never been the biggest Kendrick Lamar fan, but I feel like the fact that Kendrick is standing on the idea that Drake is some culture vulture and isn't really black and goes against everything hip hop is kind of birthed on, and is an abuser and all this whatever, and a PDF, I feel like makes him look better, makes him look good, because he's standing on something. And the fact that Drake calls out Kendrick for, you know, maybe bloviating and maybe posturing as some sort of civil rights leader, but not really looking out for anybody else apart from himself, also makes Drake look pretty cool. Like, I think both sides of the matter are pretty, you know, they're pretty valid in their critique of each other. I don't think there's any, and you don't have to like people, you know, like, I don't see the problem with it at all, in my opinion.
Clear, I can hear it. Like, I can hear it in his voice. He doesn't like Drake. When it sounded like you two just really want to see each other and do each other something.
Yeah.
The amount of people who've seen each other and did each other something in grime back in the day is obscene. Yo, big up Crazy Titch, but Crazy Titch is like literally one of my favorite grime MCs of all time, and he essentially threw his whole life away because of some random kid in Ilford made like a diss record. And I think the kid in Ilford diss record, I don't think he even spat on it, if I'm not mistaken, the law. I think he just produced it, and him, Crazy Titch, and his you know, half brother, I think, Dirty Goods, turned up to this kid's house with a fucking strap, like some kid that no one even knew about. He threw his whole career away because of that. Like, grime is based on that. Hip hop is based on that. Like, it just is what it is. The fact that he's like clutching his pearls over this, especially considering where Skepta's from, the crew he represents, the stuff they're known for, again, don't need to be spoken about. But it's like, if you know, you know. It's like, come on, brother. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But I was like that would hit him up. And I even said the same shit, you know, when Pusha T and Drake was doing their thing, and he said the shit about 40. I was like, nah, I don't like that. I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit. But then there's people who are like, nah. Then you see like the battles, the URLs and all that type of shit, and you're like, whoa. It goes far.
Bruh, I just saw a rap battle. Big up the people that do it. I forgot the names of the organization, but I saw a rap battle here in the UK that took part in a box park somewhere, where I swear on my life, the guys that were battling on stage, they were like a duo, which is weird, right? They were like a duo against like one guy, I think. And they literally had a projector on the screen, and they put a picture up of the kid's dead mum or something. And the kid's mum died like a few months ago. And then they brought out like some sort of like doll representing the mum, like on stage. This is battle rap, bro. And the whole idea behind it, I felt like, in that scenario, or in those type of scenarios, is that when somebody gets that vicious at you, the whole reason why that stuff works so well is because the whole point of it is like to elicit an emotion. It's like, oh my God, you've really crossed the line. And the whole thing that makes you look like a really sick MC is your ability to not be, you know, not go Serious Jones and slap the person, just kind of, you know, take it all in without needing to physically react or anything, and then destroy the person with words, with lyrics, and not go after them physically or beat them up on the stage or whatever. Obviously, some people can crash out, but that ability to kind of like take that level of disrespect and then be able to hit them back with bars, especially in the moment, especially freestyle off the dome, whatever it may be, off top of your head. That is what separates, you know, the good from the super elite MCs. And that's what we kind of saw with Drake and Kendrick. They're all making songs. Like, that's probably even harder, in my opinion. Probably a freestyle on stage, off top of your head, in the moment, you could probably bang that out easier. But making songs, especially hit records, like not like us, like Kendrick did, in the moment of a beef, that's fucking that's like alien level. So we got some good things out of that. They pushed each other to limits they probably didn't know they could achieve. The fans got some great work out of it. It was a spectacle. It kind of reinvigorated a pretty dead rap scene industry in the last 18 months and so. You know, it probably, you know, got some people in position, put some people in certain places. It probably clarified some people to certain people, whatever it may be. If anything, it kind of, you know, played out pretty decently, especially because of the caliber of, or the level of stars these two guys are. It was never going to go the way that he's thinking it was going to go. Really, let's be honest. It was never going to go that way. None of these guys are really like that anyway. Maybe some of the guys around them might want to crash out, but still, I think they are enough of well-oiled machines that this was always just going to be bars, in my opinion. It was never going to be more than that. I would say there was probably more likelihood that Drake's crew would have ended up in some sort of passer, some sort of lethal thing with like the Weeknd's crew, that XO crew, because, you know, they're tied to Toronto. There's some law there that I'm not really that aware of that's really deep. That I could see happening. But, you know, come on, bro. Like, Kendrick, let's be real. Let's be real. Skepta's like being dramatic here for no reason.
Okay.
Maybe you know what? It's age.
No. We're gonna hit it though, bro. We got time. Even if they cut the cameras off, we're gonna figure this out. Do you know what I think it is? Because they are in positions where they are both
the biggest.
They are both really big, yeah. Have major deals, major cahoots with major companies, right? Talking to each other like this is looking crazy. Like
that's a good point.
You're calling him a word, but this guy's signed to thing. So now how can they sign a man that is being accused of this thing? So now the things that, when I was clashing in grime, we never had nothing to lose. There you go. This is where I'm landing now. So when we're saying things to each other, you could call me anything in the world. I'm not gonna lose a Nike deal.
Right.
I'm not gonna not be able to put food in. That'd probably even get me more money because we'll go to the show and do the clash on the stage, and more people are paying and rare. You know what I'm saying? So
the version they was doing was hurting.
It's hurting what we've built.
So therein lies the crux of the problem. Skepta was feeling some sort of monetary hurt, monetary pain from what Drake and Kendrick were going through. It put him in a position where maybe he couldn't do shows because maybe of his allegiance with Drake or Kendrick. I don't really know which one he kind of favors or he's friends with. Who gives a fuck? But most likely what he's getting at this point, this is the crux of his issue, was that these two guys at the top beefing had some sort of like trickle down economics consequences to him at his level, where he was now feeling the after effects of this cataclysmic beef that was now affecting the way that he was moving and doing certain things, because now people are saying, oh my God, rap is so violent, rap is so whatever. I can kind of acknowledge his position and his frustrations and his maybe worry, but I have to put the onus back onto the record labels and say they're full of shit too. Record labels sign people, especially rappers, with reputations. You know, they probably have people that work at record labels that can do due diligence, do background checks on people, and probably find out what they're really about, find out if they're really out there stepping, find out if they really jumped off the porch early, found out if they really live their raps. And they know this to be the fact. They put money behind them. They sell them as the authentic thing. What does that mean? The authentic thing, the authentic gangster, whatever it may be. Then that person gets in trouble and suddenly they start to fucking go crazy. They wash their hands, they drop the person, they go fucking nuts. And no. This is part of the game. If you want to invest in these kids, if you want to invest in this scene, drill, whatever it may be, and you want to give these guys money, you want to put their music up on the biggest platforms, you want to spread it globally, you have to know some of the consequences that come with it, because these kids come from a real place. These people come from a real place. They represent real people. They represent real sets, real gangs, real cliques, real neighborhoods, whatever it may be. They've done real things. And eventually that stuff may come back to haunt them, or maybe somebody might just have it out for them. Who flipping knows? But this idea that these record labels and whatever can suddenly start, virtue signaling and pearl clutching, fuck out of here. And I really think it's really sad too, someone like Skepta, with his reputation, with his history in the game, to sit here and be like, oh, I'm not going to say certain things about people because of my endorsements, even if I believe them to be true. Because let's say, again, I don't believe it to be true, but let's say if Kendrick actually believes it to be true that Drake is a PDF, and he was willing to be brave and step out and say it on wax, shouldn't he be lauded for it? Shouldn't it be heralded? Shouldn't he be raised up? Shouldn't he be propped? Shouldn't he be like shouted out and congratulated and bigged up for like saying that sort of stuff about somebody at that level and being brave enough to stand up to it? Because there's a ton of people in the scene that no one said something about. Diddy's big example of it. They had to wait until Cassie got beat up black and blue until she stepped out and said something. Then suddenly everyone had something to say about Diddy. But no one wanted to say something before then. So maybe Kendrick is saying some truth about Drake. Maybe Drake is what he's saying about Kendrick is true too. Maybe Kendrick is a woman beater. We don't know. Maybe he is. So shouldn't Drake be heralded and celebrated and lauded for having the courage to say this stuff about somebody that everybody likes, that can do no wrong in some people's eyes? Come on, man.
It's hurting what we've all built this whole time, like you two, man. If you don't like each other, just link up and speak and just
what?
Talk to each other, sort it out.
Skepta's so scared. I wonder what's happened to this guy. Is it because of the Nike deal? Which I think is a fucked up thing. He should have, if anybody deserves a Nike deal, it's Skepta, right? It's Skepta. He should have a Nike deal. He don't have one for whatever reason. Now he's with Puma, still doing some good things, but it's not the same, right? So I think maybe he's been burned and he's lost so many deals over the years and so many millions that he's now being very cautious. Because what do you mean, link up and do what? Speak. Link up and what? Work through our issues in like a boardroom on a whiteboard. Come on, Skep.
Don't speak to each other but all this stuff you're saying to each other, for the rest of everyone else who is waiting in line for the doors that you've kicked open, these doors are shutting on us right now, bro. We're looking crazy.
It doesn't matter if the door's shut. If two of the biggest MCs, if two of the biggest rappers in the industry can't battle, then the scene is dead. If they can't battle because they're beholden to stake, right? Because they're beholden to the NFL, then the industry is lost forever. I don't want that. I don't want that scene. And no one wants that scene. No one wants that subculture. No one wants that genre. No one wants that version of hip hop where Drake and Kendrick can't battle because of the NFL and fucking stake and kick. Come on, bro. Come on. The reason why this is so exciting was because they're the two of the biggest guys and they were involved in this petty beef that didn't really do anything for their careers and they're just doing it for the fun of it because they both don't fuck with each other. That was what made it what it was. Come on, man.
Easy out here. That's why I didn't like that. It was good until they started sounding so like it just sounded crazy, bro.
Skepta's disgusted face, considering all the things people have said in grime, considering the stuff that Jammer said on records, the stuff that JME said on records, right? The stuff that Birdman has said on Bossman Birdie said on record, the stuff that Big H has said on records, right? The stuff that Prez T has said on records. Wiley, Scorcher, all of these guys are his friends, right? Who said so. We've been involved in some crazy battles back in the day. Now he is all like pearl clutching and being like disgusted because Kendrick called Drake a PDF. The scene is dead, man. The scene is fucking dead. Sad to see, but hey, what can you do? What can you do? Do you guys know who Rebecca Chickenfry is? Yeah, you heard that right. Rebecca Chickenfry. The name sounds a bit racist. The name sounds like cultural appropriation. Sounds like, you know, her parents got married on a plantation or something, right? The name sounds nuts, but she's a guest on, or co-host on a show called BFF, with one of these kids, a TikTok guy, and another one is the dude from Barstool Sports. Anyway, long story short, she was in a relationship with this really popular country singer called Zach Bryan. You see the guy there, right? This guy here on the left. And they recently announced that they broke up on the internet. And everybody went a bit crazy because they're very popular people within their little niches and blah, 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 blah. Then it transpired that the breakup wasn't amicable and there was loads of abuse claims being thrown around. And it seemed like this Rebecca Chickenfry girl, or Brianna Chickenfry, Brianna, same thing. But this Brianna Chickenfry girl was alluding to the fact that this Zach Bryan guy, a very popular country singer, was abusive. But she never really clarified what the abuse was. She never really described it in any detail. It sounded mostly like emotional abuse, mostly being a shitty boyfriend type of stuff, right? Which obviously didn't make him look good. Some of the stuff I'm going to play for you is kind of embarrassing and cringe. But a lot of the stuff is kind of, I felt like, being blown out of proportion because it's like, do we need to know that this superstar country singer guy is a bit of a douche, is a bit selfish, is a bit, you know, psychotic, maybe not the best boyfriend? is it really our business? Should we give a fuck? I don't think so. But the really revealing part of this whole drama that's been happening with these two guys is the fact that she's now revealed Zach Bryan offered her $12 million not to share any details about their relationship. 12 million. And this woman turned it down because she felt like sharing it was more important with the world. Even though what she shared so far is just tantamount to emotional abuse, to this guy being a bad boyfriend. I've not heard anything crazy about, you know, the other sort of abuse that we all know and, you know, are aware of. All I've heard so far is him just being jealous, possessive, and a shitty boyfriend, which again isn't the best thing. But would you turn down $12 million because the boyfriend that you're with was a bit of an asshole? I don't really know. Unless she's got some other secret she's holding. I think the decision to turn down $12 million from Zach fucking Bryan is fucking incredibly dumb and short-sighted, in my personal opinion. But hey, let's play the clip. Curse your BFFs.
Brianna was offered basically a payout to sign an NDA to not talk about the breakup, things that happened, and it's a shit ton. $12 million is what it ended up being. And I was going back and forth with her a lot.
Me and Dave even texted and it was like we can't tell Bree not to.
Turning down $12 million is
it's crazy.
I sat on the back porch of the Duxbury house that he bought for us to live in next to my family and like have a family in. And I sat on that back porch.
Sat in the back porch of the house that he bought you to turn
with my aunt, and we looked out at the water and we looked at this fucking $10 million house, and I'm like, for what? I'm gonna get all these millions and just to have a backyard to sit in and thank Zach for? Like, it was never about the money. I was with the dude because I loved the dude. Like, everything glamorous, rich, or fucking cool about him was the shit that I hated about him, or I hated being with him for.
To be fair to this young lady, even though I think she's incredibly dumb to turn this money down, it is quite endearing. Because in some respects, what this does show, as I've said it previously in times gone by and I've experienced it in my own life, when women turn that switch off,
Brianna was offered
sorry. What this goes to prove, in my opinion, is that, and it's going to, you know, solidify my opinion in this regard, is that when women switch that switch off for you, it's off forever. There's no turning it back on. That's a really crazy bit about it. I think guys always have that door open. Like, someone that you spoke to 7 years ago could text you WYD ? And you're gonna reply. Yeah, you're gonna go fucking crazy. Whereas a girl, when it's over, it's over. So I do respect the fact that despite this guy being, you know, ridiculously rich to the point where he's got $12 million to offer you to shut the fuck up in the first place, that's fucking insane. The fact that he offered you that money and then she turned it down is kind of evidence of her character, right? It shows, okay, this is a good girl. But on the other side of it, I'm thinking to myself, like, what secrets are you holding? What secrets was he so worried that would get out there that would be equivalent to $12 million? Now, when they explained the story a bit more, I think it was more of like it ramped up to 12 million. It was more like a back and forth between her people and Zach Bryan's people talking and then throwing offers. Okay, here's 12 million then. Will she sign it for 12? That type of thing. I don't think it was like, okay, my secrets are worth 12 million. But still, the only thing that I would imagine that could be worth that sort of money, and even that isn't probably enough, would be something involving like, you know, the R word or like kiddie diddling and shit. But if it's just like him being a bad boyfriend, I don't know, him shouting at you in front of your mum, him maybe, I don't know, calling your friends names, being super, you know, obsessive and protective and clingy and, you know, whatever, stalky, like, is that really 12 million worth? Is that really a smart decision long term to turn it down so that you can talk about it on the podcast? I don't know. And again, it's just this slow trickle effect of like not really telling the people. Like, you want to share she wants to share what happened, but you don't really hear what happened. It's all just like surface level meanie type of mean BF type of shit. And it's like, should that really be our business? Should we really, as you know, as users of the internet, should we really litigate and get involved in this, you know, domestic? It's like, okay, he was a bad boyfriend. super famous guy being a bad boyfriend. Shock horror. I don't know. It just felt a little bit dumb, a little bit short-sighted, and kind of surprising too for an American girl, because you think like most American girls are oddly, weirdly enough, obsessed with like the money thing, right? That's all they seem to talk about in these sort of relationship podcasts about, oh, if some guy wanting to take you out and didn't offer to pay for it's all this sort of nonsense. So you would assume that sort of mindset of that caring about the money will drive someone to just like accept it. But I guess this girl maybe is made of different stuff. So let's actually play another clip from the podcast. It says Zach Bryan offered to double Brianna's salary to get her to quit and follow him around.
Obviously, I ignored a lot of red flags, but when people tell me they love me, or when like I just believe people, because I don't assume people are bad.
Not liking Dave Portnoy, huge red flag.
Yeah.
You mentioned, and I didn't know this, when we negotiated your renewal, that he wanted to pay you more than we were going to pay you just not to work.
Yeah, he offered to double what you offered me so that I would quit. He twisted it in my head where he would make me be like, you're better than this. You're better than Barstool. You're destined for so much more. Like, he would twist it where it was like, he made me believe, yeah, fuck that. Maybe I should leave Barstool. Like, but no, I love my job and I love what I do. And like, people have always loved me, and people started to hate me because I became this version of him through dating him.
I don't know, like offering you money to not hang around with Dave Portnoy doesn't sound like that bad of a thing, to be honest. I don't know. And also, why don't you just fleece the guy? Just work for him, get the money, and then break up with him anyway. You've earned a salary and you get the NDA money. I don't know. Like, surely, like, even if she did get physically abused or something, like, get something out of this situation. Really. Clean the guy's pockets. They offer you 22 or they offer you 12 million. Tell them it's 22. Or you post all your bruises, or you post a black eye, or you post the fucking fork marks or whatever. Like, I don't know, man. Because you're talking about it anyway. So Zach lost it after Brianna sang a Morgan Wallen song. This is hilarious, because I feel like this happens way more often than people would like to admit. No, sorry. Let me rephrase that. I think this sort of thing is more common than you would think in the minds of artists. I think there's artists out there who, when their partner plays, or wife or girlfriend or husband plays a song of somebody that's in their space or someone they're quote unquote competing with, it drives them crazy. But most men who have pride, most men who have an ego would probably never admit it. They'd probably never let their wife or their girlfriend know that they're pissed. But I think most have this in them. I don't think women have the same thing. I don't think a woman would care that much, probably. I don't think so. Actually, I retract that. I don't think you could be a guy with a wife and then also be like a fanboy of like a female musician and your wife be cool with it. They're going to get jealous too. They're going to be like, nah, fuck that. Why the fuck are you simping over Tyler on the ground? Why are you going crazy over Sabrina Carpenter? Go crazy over me. You know, they're not going to have it. But I think men, you know, I don't think you'd want to admit it, but I think a lot of dudes out there would feel funny about it, which is weird, really, because why would you? Like, it's a fucking song. But I feel like this is probably more common than probably people would probably lead to believe, or you would be led to believe.
I do have something that I think I just need to get off my chest.
I think you got to get it off too.
Like, we were out the night before, and one morning I like woke up, or I was like scrolling TikTok, and last night we let the liquor talk was stuck in my head. I'm about to like make breakfast or something. I'm like, last night we let the liquor talk. He freaked the fuck out. He could not believe you're singing another man's song under my roof in this house that I own. Like, it was a fight for I think a week.
That's actually a good point, though. To be fair, that's actually a good point. I'm not gonna lie. If he's giving you room and board, if he's providing you with accommodation and food and nice clothes and makeup and skincare and all the ALO that you could have, all the on-running shoes, cute New Balances, Asics, nice little socks to put over your leggings, phone cases, lip glosses, you know, like if paying for trips, spa dates, hiking trips, private jets, and then you got the gumption to blast a bit of Morgan Wallen at the highest volume possible on your little Sonos, on your little Bluetooth speaker as you're making breakfast in your little tighty white. Nah. Not in my house.
It's just nuts. It's no way to live. What is that anybody, or is there like specific beef or something?
That's a Morgan Wallen song.
No, I know
I don't
that,
know,
but
I
like,
don't
what's
know.
he care about? Like, is it specific to Morgan?
I think he really doesn't like Morgan Wallen. I think he really hates Morgan Wallen. I think he feels inferior to Morgan.
No, Morgan Wallen's just that guy in it. It's not even inferior. Just Morgan Wallen's that guy. Zach Bryan wants to be that guy, you know, and that's basically it. It's not that difficult to kind of decipher. It just is what it is. It's just funny that most likely Morgan Wallen feels nothing towards Zach. That's probably one of the funniest things about beefs like this. Most likely Morgan Wallen doesn't feel anything towards Zach Bryan whatsoever. Zero. He doesn't think about him at all. But then in Zach Bryan's brain, he's constantly got Morgan Wallen in his brain, and he probably thinks Morgan Wallen thinks way more of him than he actually does, you know? That's the really funny bit about this story. Another one here, Brianna talks about the emotional abuse she went through with Zach Bryan and how she lost herself. Emotional abuse, man. What does this even mean, bro? What does this even mean? Emotional abuse, like, God almighty. Isn't that just what all relationships are? Aren't all relationships a version of emotional abuse? Don't we all suffer from emotional abuse from the day that we're born, from our fucking families, parents, siblings, extended family? You just learn how to deal with it. Don't we? Or am I just alone here? Emotional abuse, you know, fucking hell. People are so soft. I swear down, man.
After the 4 months of the love bombing, the like just being the loviest, best dude ever, it's just like all of a sudden a switch, and he's making excuses, blaming it on shit he's going. There was always another excuse as to why he was treating me so poorly and why I'm crying myself to sleep every night, why he's screaming at me. Like, you wake up, it's the apology, I'm gonna be better, like, I need you in my life. Like, I don't expect people to understand emotional abuse if you haven't been through it, and I hope you never have to go through it, but if you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. And it was just this constant cycle of like, build you up, beat you down, apologize over and over and over. You like crave that validation from the person because you're like holding on to this person that you thought they were in the beginning. And it was just this crazy, awful cycle. Also, I broke up with him last October because I still fucking knew who I was before I lost myself. And I wish to God I just stuck with my guns last October. But I lost myself throughout this whole relationship. It's very evident. You can see it throughout social media. I don't even recognize myself anymore. Like, I lost 15 pounds I didn't have to lose in the relationship. I didn't sleep. Like, I was completely isolated from my family, from my friends, from work. Like, he just took me out of my life. I kind of blame myself. I'm like, why did I stay? There's no answer. I don't know why.
You were in love. That's why you stayed. You were in love. You gave yourself to a relationship like most women do, like most men do. When you love somebody, you go stupidly in love, head over heels in love. You go in, you know, you go in fucking balls deep. You go in at the deep end, feet first. You know what I mean? Perfect fucking position, everything. Like, it's not that hard to figure out. It didn't work out, cool, but Jesus Christ, man. This tour of like complaining about this thing when it's like most people go through this thing every single day and they don't have a fucking pod to talk about it or to cry about it, or they don't have anybody offering them $12 million. And again, this is completely different if they come out and say, okay, it was physical. That maybe change things a little bit, but I don't know. It's gone so far now. It's like, bruh, I don't think anything that crazy happened, really. It just seems like the guy was a shit boyfriend, and maybe she was a little bit blindsided because maybe he presented himself to be one way. And then, you know, once they got together and I think she mentions in another clip how he'd always be different around her vis-a-vis how they presented in public. Cool. But yo, chalk it up to the game, bro. Chalk it up to the game and keep it stepping. That's an experience you've learned now. You're not going to probably have a situation where you bump into another Zach Bryan and have him kind of take advantage of you in this way again. Hopefully, experience points, experience learned, or, you know, you can learn from that experience. But this fucking sympathy tour for having a shit boyfriend, it must end. It must fucking end. It must end, because I'm not even sure this emotional abuse thing actually even exists. I swear to God, I think this is all fucking made up for people that can't just handle being with difficult people. Just move, leave. It's not that deep. It's not that difficult. At least you're not being physically abused. Yeah, I mean, you're not being R-worded on a consistent basis. That's a whole different fucking gambit of abuse and manipulation and control. Like, this guy's just being a terrible boyfriend. Leave. Like, god damn. Oh yeah. But again, I could be wrong. I really could be wrong. Who knows? I'm really dumb when it comes to these type of things. I'm really flipping dumb when it comes to these type of things. Let me actually play one more about this because this is a funny clip as well. The unfollowing. I love people that unfollow each other. It's fucking hilarious. It's such a lame thing to do, but I love how it means so much to people. They're sort of like, oh, you unfollowed me. Zach unfollowed Brianna over her Golden Globes dress, but posted it on his story saying how much he loved it.
He ruined my birthday. He ruined my tour. He ruined the Golden Globes. Anything Brianna did for Brianna, he had to ruin it. The Golden Globes night was going so great, and I'm like sending him pictures, and he's like happy in the beginning, and then all of a sudden it turns to like, I can't believe you're wearing this, blah, 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 ruins the night. I'm crying to Grace the whole fucking night, and he unfollows me because of the dress. He tells me all the Instagram pictures that I have to delete.
Unfollowing your girlfriend because of the dress she wore at the Golden Globes that you didn't approve of is absolutely unhinged. Unhinged. I've never heard of that. Like unfollowing your girlfriend. I've heard of people not following their partners or their girlfriends and wives on social because they just want to keep that sort of their side of their life private, or like most dudes, you just want to cheat in peace. But imagine unfollowing your girlfriend because she wore a dress that you didn't approve of while you're still in a relationship. Oh yeah.
He makes me believe that like I have to change my image to like keep up with his or something. So like I was twisted in the head like, okay, yeah, he doesn't want to be with a girl that, I don't know, has cleavage. So let me fucking.
But it wasn't like it was like some like super unmodest.
I loved it. I loved the dress.
It's nuts.
I've worn more revealing stuff.
Well,
I've worn more revealing stuff
yeah.
to the fucking Golden Globes than Brie has. I had a crop top.
That's not me. I'm not out here with like my nipples and my coochie out. Like that has never been me. And he was trying to paint me as this. But the cherry on the top of all of that was he reposted that picture of me on his story and was like, you are so beautiful.
While freaking out behind the scenes.
And unfollowing all of us and unfollowing me. Oh man, it was just such a tug of war, like with my emotions in my head.
I don't know, man. He sounds like a horrible guy to be in a relationship with, clearly, and I'm sure he probably has a score, a litany, a paper trail of women across the world, across the country. Let's not say across the world, probably across the United States, that he's probably broken the hearts of and treated poorly his entire life. And most likely, in this particular instance, there probably was a girlfriend before this girl who probably warned her of the fucking what she'd be in for, and she probably ignored it. Probably thought she was hating. He's treating me different. It's not going to be me. Warned all the signs, walked into a fucking shitstorm. Here we are. Either way, I don't give a fuck. I really don't give a fuck. I'm just shocked that she turned down 12 million over Zach fucking Bryan because he told her to cover up. Like, that is, I don't even think what he did to her is worth 12 million. Like, it really isn't. Like, because I don't think that's the thing. And we live in a world where I don't think his fans care. I think his fans know. I think Zach Bryan fans, I think, are keenly aware of who their guy is. I don't think there's any surprise. I think most Zach Bryan fans, if you actually spoke to them, I think they wouldn't be surprised at this story. I think they are aware of how much of a piece of shit he is, but they just love the tunes. They just love his. Again, I've never listened to a Zach Bryan song in my life, clearly, but I'm sure his fans just love him for his. It's like Morgan Wallen. Morgan Wallen might be a racist. Morgan Wallen might be a psychopath. Like, didn't he fucking fling a chair off the top floor of a hotel building onto the pavement? No care about the people down below. And his life hasn't changed one iota. Hasn't missed a beat. If anything, he's become more famous, more rich, more successful, broken more records, more awards. His fans don't give a fuck. So I'm surprised Zach Bryan felt that guilty about treating this girl like pure shit and wanting to offer her 12 million because he was afraid of his reputation. It's like, bruh, everyone knows you're a piece of shit. Everybody knows. Like, I'm sure in that country music world, much like most music genres, much like most subcultures, most scenes, it's probably very small. It's probably very, very small. And probably everybody knows everyone's business. So I'm sure everybody knows how much of a piece of shit Zach Bryan allegedly is behind the scenes. So what really was this girl going to reveal that most people in the industry, in the scene who are tapped in, don't know? Come on. he really shit the bed by trying to offer her 12 million. She obviously fumbled the bag by not taking it, but maybe it does speak to how, you know, nice of a person that she is, that she was like, you know what, I hate you that much, because that shows you how much she hates him, by the way. That shows you how much she genuinely hates that guy. She's like, I hate you so much, even though this money is going to be life-changing and it's overly exaggerated in terms of what you've done to me, I still don't want it. I don't want any ties to you whatsoever. So most likely she doesn't live in that house even, as she spoke about. So I don't want any ties to you whatsoever. Go fuck yourself. That's quite sweet. That's actually a bigger middle finger and F you than maybe exposing him. Saying, nah, keep your fucking money, you piece of shit. That's actually a bigger F you. But hey, what do I know? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Continuing on, there's this news courtesy of Pitchfork Music Festival that says after 19 years of music and memories, Pitchfork Festival is now over. It's done. It's done. It's done. They won't even be hosting. They won't even be hosting the one next year. So the one that happened this year was the last one. If you went, congratulations. If you're planning to go next year, it's not happening. This is a statement courtesy of Pitchfork. To our Chicago festival community, as the music festival landscape continues to evolve rapidly, we have made the difficult decision not to host Pitchfork Music Festival in Chicago in 2025. This decision was not made lightly. For 19 years, Pitchfork Music Festival has been the celebration of music, art, and community and space where memories were made, voices were amplified, and the shared love of music brought us all together. The festival, while aligned with the taste of the Pitchfork editorial team, has always been a collaborative effort. Taking on a life of its own as a vital pillar of the Chicago art scene, we are deeply grateful to the city of Chicago for being our festival's home for nearly 2 decades, to the artists who graced our stage with the unforgettable performances, and to the fans who brought unmatched energy year after year. Thank you to you at Pluto and the rest of the hardworking festival team whose dedication and creativity were the backbone of every event, and to the broader community whose spirit and support made the festival a truly unique experience. And thank you to Mike Reed for founding the festival and for your inspiring vision. Pitchfork will continue to work to produce events in 2025 and beyond. We look forward to continuing to create spaces where music, culture, and community intersect in uplifting ways, and we hope to see you there. Now, heartbreaking as this news is, sad as this news is, let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be real. Nobody gives a fuck about Pitchfork. And it's been happening for it almost feels like they've been suffering a death of 1,000 cuts ever since Condé Nast bought them, ever since they've been absorbed into GQ. This has kind of been the thing. This has kind of been on the cards for a while. And if I remember correctly, having read enough interviews of festival organizers, allegedly the festival scene is not a real money maker anyway. It's more like a marketing thing. Most people that run festivals run them at a loss. So if that's the case, and Condé Nast bought Pitchfork and they gutted it and then they absorbed it, most likely they're just trying to cut the cost. So one of the things that they can cut the cost of easily is a massive fucking music festival to save money. That's basically it. And I would also imagine the ticket sales across maybe the last 5 or 6 years have probably been down. I don't really hear people, again, and I'm quite, I think, tapped in when it comes to festivals and whatever else it may be. And I don't see many people sharing stuff about Pitchfork Music Festival. I'm not going to lie. Maybe the odd post here and there, but they don't garner the same level of attention, or they don't get the same level of virality on social media like the more prominent ones. I don't know, the Primavera Sound, there's other festivals that exist out there. Pitchfork Festival isn't the one that people are kind of speaking about. Yes, it's maybe well regarded in the music industry, blah, 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 but in general, this shouldn't be that much of a surprise. No one really went. Condé Nast bought Pitchfork ages ago and has been slowly but surely gutting it and absorbing it into other companies, to the point where now most of the staff are already left and they founded another platform already they've started. So I'm not sure why everybody on my side of social media is surprised, is outraged, is brokenhearted, is crying about this. It's like, bruh, when did you last go to Pitchfork Music Festival? When did you even think about buying a ticket? Can some of these people even name the headliners for this year or last year? Do they even know who's performing next year? Like, come on, bro. No one was going to this thing, so it died a natural death it's just wild to see that there's nothing replacing it. The only thing I feel like replacing Pitchfork is just content creators and streamers. Content creators and streamers are really the people who are kind of replacing. There's not like an institution. There's not like a particular platform, a particular channel that you go on. It's just various people that you kind of want to follow, or people that you kind of rate their music taste or whatever it may be, and you watch or you react, or you watch them react to stuff, or you watch them talk about stuff, and that's basically it. But no one's kind of, you know, going to places like Pitchfork to learn what they think of certain things. Not really in the slightest, which is kind of heartbreaking, because I feel like they played a good role in, I guess, acting like gatekeepers, but mostly I feel like tastemakers. I won't say gatekeepers. I think they were more tastemakers, but I think over time that kind of run its course, and now people don't really give a fuck about Pitchfork. If anything, weirdly enough, I kind of view Pitchfork and Anti Fantano the same way. Like, I might check Anti Fantano to see like albums that I might have missed out on, but I don't even play the videos. I just check what the album titles are and go listen to them for myself. I don't need those guys or these platforms to tell me what to listen to or what's good or what isn't good. But for sure, I feel like the Pitchfork Festival being cancelled is, again, more of a reflection of, you know, of course it's difficult to run festivals, but the festival just wasn't doing what it was meant to do. It wasn't selling tickets. It wasn't that popular. The acts that they would get on there weren't the greatest either. If I remember from times of seeing some certain lineups, whatever it may be, and the magazine or the platform itself has kind of ceased to exist in its, you know, usual form, and is probably going to eventually die a death anyway, and probably get, you know, completely finished and ended and called quits soon, you'd imagine. But yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised that Chicago Festival or Pitchfork is over. Obviously it's sad. It is sort of physical people who are going to be affected by it negatively, but they shouldn't be surprised. The writing was on the wall the moment Condé Nast bought that company, mate. The writing was on the wall. The writing was on the wall. Moving on. So, on the topic of the current cover picture for this particular podcast. So, if you're on my side of social media, UK side of social media, you may have seen that DJ AG is currently going through a bit of a mad thing at the moment. He's everywhere, right? DJ AG, this amazing DJ who's essentially is live streaming his sets on TikTok, posting some of these clips on YouTube, and allowing anybody and everybody to get on the mic and spit a couple of bars as he plays some songs out there in the streets of London. It's been fucking amazing to watch his ascension. It's been amazing to watch the support he's been getting out there in the streets with real life people, and the fact that he's giving regular schmegular civilians on the streets an opportunity to spit, to MC, to sing, to rap, to recite poetry, wherever they may be on the streets of London. Is fucking phenomenal, especially if you know about how hard it is for people that look like us, I mean black and brown people, to perform these type of things in clubs and normal venues because of horrible licensing laws, draconian police measures, and just general anti-fun, bad vibes, you know, sentiment that runs across the UK. So he's essentially allowing or reviving that side of the UK music industry that's kind of ceased to exist, and putting it on the streets with the people and connecting with them in a real amazing way, right? It's nothing but props, nothing but, you know, salute. And I've said it previously on this particular podcast that I've also been inspired by this, because previously to actually seeing DJ AG myself, I actually had my own idea of buying a pair of buying an ex-DJ and, you know, rocking up at some station and playing sets, so I could just kind of get my name out there and kind of just play tunes in the background while people were kind of commuting on their way out to go to a club somewhere, and turn that into a thing. And then I happened to stumble upon him. I was like, oh shit, you know, great minds think alike. But my idea was mostly about servicing myself, right? About kind of pushing myself and promoting myself. He's gone even better by actually using his platform to boost other people. That's the sick thing. I'm thinking about just me and how I can get more bookings, and he's thinking about reviving an entire scene, an entire segment of the industry, of music industry, that's not really been highlighted or looked upon in any meaningful way at all. So you have to give the guy all the props, all the salutings. He's an absolute G, right? So all the salutings, all the absolute G's, and everything else in between. There are people out there that don't think so, that don't agree that he's doing great things. And one of them being Mimi the music blogger. Now, I actually like Mimi the music blogger. I think she's got some cool opinions. She does really, I like her on social media. She's a good follow. She posts a lot of updates around the music industry and gives you release dates and stuff, and does really good interviews and breakdowns of albums and blah blah, and just a good follow on social media. But I think this might be one of the worst takes I've seen posted this year, and I think it's justified that she's getting ripped into, even if some of it is a bit mean, because I think that's just the nature of social media. I think if you say dumb things, people are going to insult your looks, people are going to insult your weight, they're going to insult your face, your name, whatever. They're just going to go really low because they're, you know, they're disgusted and, you know, whatever else it may be by your opinion that they deem to be stupid, or they deem to be ill-informed or dumb, whatever it may be. But she posted the following on her Twitter, which kind of blew up on my side of social media, and everyone's kind of attacking her. She said the following: DJ AG needs to gatekeep because anyone is just jumping on. Quality control, please, please. And the reason why she's saying this is because there was a video, because DJ AG, when he does these live streams, he does them primarily on TikTok, but then he also records them, and some of that, you know, video footage gets put on YouTube with some of the more, let's say, popular MCs and shit. But for the most part, if you want the raw footage of the stream, you go on TikTok, and everyone's allowed to come and step up on a mic and spit as he plays some tunes. And I think one particular clip went viral that featured somebody that wasn't that great, and I think DJ AG's face kind of said it all. The person wasn't that good, whatever. But I think that's the beauty of his platform. The beauty of his platform is that anybody can have an opportunity to spit in front of an audience of thousands, if not millions of people. He puts the power back into the fans. He puts the power back into the people. Like, hey, if you're good, if you want to spit, or whatever, you're good, if you want to get on the mic, you can. Here's an audience for you to kind of perform in front of. And who knows, your clip could go viral, and then suddenly you're the next big thing. All because of some guy who's standing in the middle of King's Cross, who's standing on the pavement out there in fucking Brixton and shit. That's fucking phenomenal. He's doing way more for the industry and the scene than most people have done in the last fucking 2 decades. So I think it's great. It's democratizing, you know, music. It's making it an even playing field. Anybody can, as long as you've got the ability to get to King's Cross, to get the ability to go to Brixton, wherever you may be at, you too can perform in front of a bunch of people. So to gatekeep it kind of takes away from the beauty of his platform, because everyone can perform on it. I understand what she's trying to say, as in like maybe vet people and make sure that people are of a certain level of standard, but I think that again takes away from the beauty of the platform, is that you don't know what you're gonna get. You tune into a stream, it might be good, it might be a fucking car crash, but even if it's a car crash, it's entertaining, it's fun, because people are out there performing and having a good time and not taking themselves so seriously. And there's probably some people out there who probably never even thought of rapping, never even thought of MCing or performing in any way, shape or form, or maybe hung it up, and maybe their careers have been revitalized and re-energized because they're allowed to get back on that platform. So all in all, I think it's a net positive. So when I see these type of comments, it just is, it's really sad, because I always think of maybe the music blogger to be an independent kind of voice. So it's odd for her to say this sort of thing, because she's kind of come up, I feel like, on social media, being a commentator, being a critic in that regard, and kind of posting her thoughts and opinions on social, and kind of using that to kind of bolster herself and kind of get somewhere. So it's really odd that she would then be siding on this, you know, defending the honor of the gatekeepers and the institutions and the corporations, when really, like, they wouldn't have given her a chance when she was coming up. She basically made her own way independently. So this guy's doing the same thing, and now you're telling him to like acquiesce and start doing the things that platforms are doing to get right. It's like, come on, bro, come on, man. It reminds me a lot of like back in the day when Logan Sama got his show on Kiss 100. I remember everybody being really happy about it, but then soon after, he was very clear about he wanted to make that show, I forgot the name of it, basically a version of like Hot 97. I forgot what their show was. He wanted to be, okay, this is a proper legit show. I'm not going to have any up and coming people. You have to be of a certain level of fame. Only the, I forgot the term he used, like only like the top caliber. I don't know. It was some really disparaging, condescending thing that he said, where he was trying to like, you know, he kind of got in and tried to close the door, or maybe only allow certain people to come in through the door. And, you know, if you know that show, you'd know it was just the same old faces that would keep appearing, doing sets on there, hardly really introducing any new talent or new blood, in my opinion, or really kind of bolstering or helping the grime scene. Don't get me wrong, I don't think Logan Sama killed the grime scene single-handedly, but the way he behaved when he got his Kiss 100 show was really tantamount to what issue that we have in music in the UK in general. This whole, like, you know, holding of the door slightly closed, this idea of like not really pushing independence and pushing people to sign on to platforms and be a part of corporations and record labels and industry sort of shit, and not really putting the power or the whatever else into the hands of the people and giving it to people that you feel like should be the gatekeepers and the judge and jury. It's like, it's fucking shit. It's disgusting and it's awful. But it's sad to see it, those type of same things, you know, being reflected in like the younger generation who are coming up, who are still, you know, copying the same mistakes and errors, or maybe just habits and behaviors of the previous generations. It's really, really sad to see this. So I think some of the hate that she's been receiving has been completely justified, because this is one of the worst tweets in the history of tweets, the history of fucking feedback. And the funny thing about it is that it's all good and it's all well and good being a cultural critic, being a cultural commentator, having these type of hot takes, but I've always been astounded by people who have hot takes but then don't have any understanding of like what comes with having hot takes. The responses, the clapbacks, the vitriol, the attacks, the personal attacks, the digs, that's part of it. So if you want to have a hot take, you have to be aware and okay with the fact that people are going to clap back and say things to you. Well, Moving the Blogger wasn't too happy with the response people were saying to her online. So she's been, you know, kind of spurging out on social and going kind of crazy. So when she tweeted that particular tweet about DJ needs to gatekeep, she got obviously attacked for it, rightfully so, in my opinion. Let's actually read some responses. Let's see some of the responses. The responses actually to the actual tweet. Just someone says here, that's the reason why everyone likes it, though, because it's an opportunity for everyone. Hate gatekeeping mentality is why the UK music scene is just a box and doesn't grow. Another person says, nah, enough gatekeeping at various levels of the music industry already. Let him be him. Let him, his platform, breathe. That's the appeal. Another person, the only thing you're consistent at is missing the point. Let DJ AG Online run his own platform. Got cooked. Another person, we're literally just about to say this. Why do people love to gatekeep everything? What's your business? No person says. His mission objective isn't your mission objective. The man is doing good for the community and creative industry himself, and don't ruin it by using your platform to create unnecessary spiteful pylons. Overdoing it. The brother is literally is literally on the main road. Gatekeep what? Exactly. Another one. Why though? What benefit do you see from this? Gatekeeping is one of the things that's holding the UK underground music scene back. Why would you want to add to that? Another one. No, the DJ's for the community. Leave him alone. Stop trying to make everything exclusive. Which goes on and on. Everyone's saying the same thing, and she's getting absolutely butchered for it. And of course, naturally, someone like this can't take the vitriol that's coming back to her. So she then says the following. Do you think haters and people look at these type of honestly, Mimi, man, I like you, but this is disgusting, man. Come on, bro. Do you think that you have haters and people that are jealous of you? Yeah. Another one. What's that thing called? The idea of quality control is what started to stifle spaces like GRM's SBTV and Link Up TV. Exactly. Them gatekeep and destroy the cultural impact necessity of two of them. He'd become a platform and not an organic cultural force. Exactly. And this person says, all right, Mimi replies back, all right, Jude, I'm saying that because everyone is going there and some of it is BS. Sorry for me wanting to see quality so he can grow and actually get better platform. Oh, we don't want that to happen. So she's trying to make it seem like she was trying to help him out by saying, hey, you should gatekeep. You should not let so many regular people on your platform because, God forbid, someone regular might be shit. It's like, fucking hell, man. Jesus Christ. It continues. You guys are just being extra because quality now, you saying that I'm trying to make it look like a cool club. Oh my God. Completely missing the point, by the way. Like, again, maybe this is all part of the rollout. You say something inflammatory, you say a hot take, you then refuse to accept why some people might not like your hot take, and then you try crime victim and then try and say people are bullying you. And maybe it's all part of the rollout. It's not, maybe this is all on purpose. Again, another tweet, boy, bye. She then tries to act like nothing's happening. True, here it's still. This is what happens when you give bitches with no ass a platform. True. Alexa plays Spanish guitar. Another one says, oh, this is Funk Butcher. Is Funk Butcher gonna white knight for her? What is he saying here? Seriously, this course is wonderful, but 10 toes down, I'll tell you, Mimi is not wrong on gatekeeping. If you ever heard a conversation with either Genius or Sting, you would understand how these stations were run. You know what? That's probably why Genius and Sting aren't culturally relevant. That's probably why grime didn't really evolve from where it was, and it's still the same thing that it is nowadays. And most of the best artists from that scene don't really make grime mainstream or as a main thing, and they kind of pivoted into making fucking rap and other bits of music that don't really sound grime-ish. Like, come on, Funk Butcher, man. Come on, man. Like, this caping for these type of shit. Like, imagine trying to die on the hill of Mimi, the music blogger. Like, I like the girl, but this is too much. Another one, Miami Time. This is peak cope, peak trying to like pretend like you're not bothered by the blowback you're getting. Oh, I'm on the plane to Miami. This girl, currently drunk on a plane. Okay, cool. Another person here says, anytime Mimi the music blogger makes a point people don't agree with, you man use it as a way to dogpile and insult. The frothing at the mouth for these opportunities to insult is so embarrassing. I agree in part, but I think the nature of the internet is like this, especially if you're not liked. I don't think Mimi the music blogger is that well liked anyway, personally, from what I've been able to see online. So anytime she does say something dumb, people are going to pile onto her because they don't like her anyway. But I think in this particular case, it was a very bad take. It was a very, very bad take, because the reason why people love DJ AG is because he provides a platform that has no barrier of entry apart from, can you get to this location? Can you get to this location? Can you hold a microphone? Can you spit? Can you sing? Can you speak? That's it. I saw a man on there doing the fucking voice of the platform thing. Honestly, like, we are now approaching, like doing that fucking announcer voice thing, and everyone going fucking crazy. Like, he opens it up to everybody. That's the whole beauty of the platform. Like, come on, bro. Saying you should gatekeep it, like, takes away from the beauty of the platform. God damn. Another one. What's she saying? Whether you agree with what music blogger said or not, don't get disrespectful. That's my dog. I got her back. Yeah, doesn't matter though. Internet's gonna disrespect. It continues. I'm literally on my way to Miami drinking wine for a great work opportunity. Okay, cool. Congratulations to you. Happy. Fucking hell, completely missing the point. Is fucking atrocious. Black women like you are by far the biggest haters out here. It's generally incredible how one singular race of women can harbor such nasty okay, I don't know what this is about. You are everything wrong with the world, a rat. Elon Musk is Twitter. Elon Musk era of Twitter is fucking crazy, man. The things people say on here is okay. I don't condone this. I can see the tweet I didn't delete. Okay, cool. I love my mom. She sends the best messages. Obviously, agreed. Cowardly move still. Hell up. Agree or disagree. She speaks with constructive sincerity and encourages healthy dialogue. Does she though? Does she? Another one says, "Yeah, allow it." She wants a DJ to niggify his work when he just wants everyone in the community to have fun and be given opportunity. Her takes have been reeking a lot, so you can't really try and victimize her. Agree with that one. She says here, I'm talking about high profile artists using it as a rollout, not the community's fault. But my fault isn't I wasn't direct. When I'm direct, you guys make it look like I'm have beef with somebody. I want the best for DJ AG because I know how the industry is like, so I want him to benefit from it. This fake love type of condescending thing is just I want the best for DJ AZ. The tweet was from a loving place for him and only him. I don't care what you guys think because I said what I said and I know what I meant. God bless LMAO. Yeah, again, she's free to have her opinion. I think the whole gatekeeping of a DJ AG platform is fucking stupid, and rightfully everybody else on the internet, I feel like for the most part seems to agree. The only people that don't agree are her friends and people who naturally work in the industry. It seems like people who are her friends and maybe have worked in the industry agree with her take. The ones that don't and are, you know, with the people think that what he's doing is fucking fantastic. And the proof is in the pudding, man. The proof is in the blood clot pudding. But here's one of her points, the last one before we move on to the proof. It's crazy how one opinion from me equivalent to 100 incels wanna be bandwagon bullies to dogpile. Oh, now you're talking about being bullied. Now you're a victim. Didn't you? After being a 2-time Journalist of the Year award winner and contributing a freelance writer to some of the biggest music platforms in the scene, I found myself wondering what's next. I've consulted for labels, artists and management teams, served on voting panels for both UK International Awards, and I sell ebooks while sharing my industry insights for free on this exact app. I could gatekeep like every other people, but I've screamed and talk about our scene and culture in rooms you guys can't imagine. Yes, we can debate and you can disagree, but that BS behavior yesterday was weird. No, what you said was weird. Everything that she's talking about, her accomplishments, don't really matter. What she said was downright weird and ill-advised or ill-informed and just dumb and just wrong. Like, it's okay. Like, what happened to just admitting you were wrong? What's wrong with that on the internet? Why can't you just admit you were wrong? Hey, I had a bad take. LOL. Keep it moving. It's not that deep. Like, fighting or dying on the hill of your bad take is fucking R-worded. Absolutely R-worded. Like, what are you doing? It really isn't that deep. You had a bad take. We all have bad takes. Just keep it moving. I think that's the business of hot takes. In the business of hot takes, in the economy of hot takes, you're going to have a couple of bad ones. Trust me, I've had many. But this whole, like, trying to paint yourself as a victim is like, ugh, gross. But anyway, the proof is in the pudding, as I said previously. Look at the clips. Look at all these videos, all these pictures of people in the streets, in the fucking streets, surrounding DJ AG as people perform and these things. All types of people, all colors and creeds, standing around on the streets, reclaiming the streets, by the way, because we've been kicked out of the club. That's a funny thing about it. Local councils, police, fucking whatever else have kicked us out of clubs, not allowed certain people. Like, mostly, I think most boroughs in London don't allow you to put on an event with like MCs and shit. You have to get special grants and special fucking permissions, all this sort of nonsense. So you're not even allowed to have like people perform and do sets and shit in clubs. You have to kind of hide it under special guest appearances, or just, you know, refuse to admit what the show is. Now people just turn up. Like, it's fucking wild. So DJ AG is doing a fucking amazing thing here. And there's all these clips of him having people perform and having a good time, and I'm fucking loving it. Look at this person. Did my thing at King's Cross with DJ AG and got given flowers. Somebody gave this girl flowers as she was performing. Literal flowers. Fucking love to see it. There's a clip here of people performing SW9 RSGs, roadside G's, with DJ AG here. Look at this.
Niggas move nervous when they see me. Turn your ass clock head when they see me. My burner will burn your back like easy. Your burner's burning black like a CD. Your burner's soft. You don't want to beat me. My 4-4 will turn you off like a TV. Little bitch boys are far from greasy. I turn the block from grease to grease to get in peace and squeeze it easy. Have you ever put a gun to a man? You must be pissed. Only got one in your gang. Gats on the road, bats on the road, shanks that take your life on the road. RA's never been a prick on the road. Man start sound like me on the road, and I rep SW9 on the road. Like what? Man search you on the roads. Broken niggas from homes on the road.
Wheel it.
Oceans,
RA, real artillery from roadside.
You know the badness. Once to the whole team mad rich. Started with Zest and had bricks. Raps that are not bandage. Music saved me from gang shit, but there's still peace, so I stay with a rap clip. ABC, simple thing to slap this, but we're trying to live without the madness. I was deep in the streets, that's worse and worse. See me dropping hearse and dirt.
So you got that, you got another one here. Big up DJ AG one time. That's what the captain said is true. With all the gentrification happening in King's Cross over the years, DJ AG has made King's Cross feel like a community again. That's very, very true. That is very, very, very true. Because you forget people like this even live in King's Cross. You go to King's Cross on most weeknights, on most weekends, you forget people that look like this actually live in King's Cross. That's the funny thing.
Free Palestine, we say, you know. Badang dang.
Another clip here. DJ AG catering to all cultures. He's working hard.
And I hope you lot enjoy it, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's just straight freestyle.
And we like singing loud in Punjab, so apologies in advance.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. All cultures, all ethnicities, one platform. Let's fucking go.
Erupted. MS got you fried. Them man said I'm tired. They're just mad I get higher. You imposter. You got no roster. Said I'm not wanted. So I get busted. You bully the weak. Just know I make Debo go weak. Can't control me.
By the way, this is Mama Surti. Big up Mama Surti one time. I think this was the reason why Mimi, the music blogger, said what she said, because I think she saw this particular performance, was like, you know what, enough's enough. I think this is the reason why she said what she did. I think this girl was a reason why. But again, I think this is what makes the platform beautiful. Sometimes you get this, sometimes you get the guy before, sometimes you get RSGs, sometimes you get fucking Tinchy Strider, you get fucking Scorcher, you get that kid with the uniform. You know, that's what makes the thing beautiful. Everybody's open, which makes me think now, when I do eventually get my ex-DJ, instead of me just making it about myself, maybe what I'll end up doing is doing what DJ AG is doing with MCs, but with DJs. Just do like an open decks thing with my ex-DJ out in the streets. Everybody gets 15 minutes, play your set, quick little set, bang it out, and then go from there. That might be a good way to do it. That might be a good way to, instead of just making it about myself, let's make it about the people. Allow everybody to play.
Not even government. You said you're bad, but you're bluffing. Seen you outside, you was on nothing.
She wants a rewind so badly. He's not giving it to her though. She has to earn it. Look, he's not giving it to her. She wanted a rewind so badly. Big up Mama Seti. She was rewind farming. She was rewind farming there. She was pull up farming. She wanted to fucking get the pull up so bad, but DJ AG was not having it. He was not having it.
It's grimy. It's grimy. Don't try. Don't try. Don't try me. Alright.
Come on, next bar.
Smile in my face. Got it behind back. Just don't lack. I'll get you back. Give you a lyrical slap. Hit you with a lyrical bat. Talking about back. You never saw shut down district with Tazs and Angels. They come with facts. You ain't seen what I seen. Been where I've been. Only one cream. Wu-Tang. Come be part of the clan. Do what you can. Spread love, not war. And you the man.
Wow, she sounds a bit like Big H, isn't it? She sounds a bit like she's got the Cajun. She's got the cadence of Big H. You know. A little bit.
Run as fast as you can. The real one's got a plan. Back in 08, you was the man. Now just funny. Talk about mommy. But your friends disrespect women that look like mommy.
Okay, cool. And then next couple of clips here. We've got DJ AG giving back to the community, dropping bars on a platform. Let's play this one.
Raising birds like daughters and birds like sons. Bust up your TV, bust up your TV, bust up your TV, bust up your TV. Yo, these birds like baby mums don't deserve these buggies, they make me sick. Cause they gon' get a whole week shopping in Iceland for like 25 quid. Fizzy sweets and chocolates, no fresh fruit, herbs or veg, just processed meals all packed in boxes. It's my bird's eye bitches, dirty skirting balls, dirty ovens and dirty fridges. No long team beans on a hob oven, 15 minutes. Bird's eye mums, raising bird's eye daughters and bird's eye sons. The only time you eat fish is when you eat fish fingers. You don't eat fish without breadcrumbs. These mums, raising bird's eye.
You don't eat fish without breadcrumbs is a fucking bar. Somebody sign that guy right now.
All right. So today, I want you to just hold your hand out like this. Just keep it there for me. Okay?
20, 40, 60, 80, 100.
That's you.
Thank you very much, man.
Look at that. Look at that. Regular people getting paid to spit. People that probably would never got this opportunity prior to DJ AG being inspired. Now maybe this kid decides to pursue music properly. Maybe that 100 quid put some money on his fucking electric key, allowed him to buy some groceries, maybe, you know, some holiday money or whatever, inspired him to go buy a mic. Fucking hell, man. This guy is a legend, bro. No DJ AG slander will be accepted on my fucking watch. Another one, Don Robbie from AFTV freestyling on DJ AV's live stream.
They want to know how comes we support Arsenal with so many teams. Then they are England. They want to know how comes we support. See, I did this tune. It went to #1 in the reggae charts in the UK. I used to perform all around. Long time ago, but it's Black History Month. I thought I'm gonna bring it back. All the people here are proud to be black. Let me see your hand in the air like this. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let me see hands in the air again. We got Harry Toddler. Yes. Anything we say on the set, proud to be black. Anything we say on the set, Anything me say, understand? Anything me say, understand? Proud to be black, proud to be black, 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 proud to be black, a Robbie, proud to be black. Follow me. Proud to be black, proud to be black, 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 proud to be black, a Robbie, proud to be black. Bob Marley make me proud to be black. Marcus Garvey make me. Nelson Mandela make me. Everybody in the bricks make me proud to be black. But you have some black people, them not proud to be black. If you ask them if them black, them would tell you say them brown. Them black race and culture and them try fit this. So some are powder up the skin to make it look like tartan. Like me used to know this girl.
Honestly, come on, bro. Come on. How can you hate on this guy? How can you say he needs to gatekeep? Look at the beauty of this. Why would he gatekeep when you're getting all of this amazing people passing through? From all corners of the fucking United Kingdom, all corners of fucking London, coming through and spitting some of these tunes. Come on, bro. Another one.
Look. In London, home of the fine rappers in abundance. Bars on my BP and Samsung, pure banners on my bars like Bunsen. I was out there, my jet zone, silver tooth for the on and a crack phone. Fun them other brothers, they bear chat. I love flights, they correct on my air max. I don't even know him, we're cool though. Chat shit, get banged in your torso. Fooling me on you, dumb like Hugo. Still the boss like my first name, Hugo. No disrespect, no banter. Paintings come sweet like Fanta. Two boys of quick chips up the napper. Looks so fly that they think I'm a tapper. We don't talking, and no chatter. When I spin in the rhythm, they all scatter. Can't stop on the road like he's the rapper. Man, I'm sending retention like Kappa. You can check the black box for the Mazda. Just give me some space, no NASA. Catch me the whole scene like plasma. So I grab attention like Magna.
Ooh. Right, guys, do you mind not vaping, please? If you don't mind, you can vape anywhere else, but please don't vape around me because I don't smoke and I beg. Sure. Right, bro, do me a favor. Just bring the mic a bit closer because they can't really hear you.
Go on then.
Yeah, come.
Go on then. Myself, radar artist.
Yeah, he's a bit shy. He's a bit nervous. He's a bit shy. But he's hard. He's hard. He's hard.
Listen.
Go on.
Look. Look.
Yeah. Tell us.
Look. In London, home of the fine rappers in abundance. Bars on my BB and Samsung, pure banners on my bars like Bunsen. I was out there in my jet zone, silver tooth for the on and a crack phone.
Calling him Biryani Mike.
I look flash, they correct on my Air Max. I don't even know him, we ain't cool though. Chat shit, get banged in your torso. Fooling me on you, dumb like Hugo. Still the boss like my first name, Hugo. No disrespect, no banter. Paintings come sweet like Fanta. Two boys and quick chips up the napper. Looks so fly that they think I'm a tapper.
Cool. Another one. Big up, who's this? It's Devlin. Big up Devlin, by the way. If you know about real grime OGs. Super talented guy. Never really got his chance. He got a bit of a chance in the limelight, but maybe I think he stepped away from music himself. Maybe his own decision, but incredibly talented MC. Fucking one of the best of all time. Legendary MC. Big up Devlin.
Never gonna be the one that's gonna take a back seat, man. Please, when I run up on it like a stampede at me. Nah, you don't want it with a man. D-E to the V-L-I to the N. Too fog, Silicon Valley, English and Paddy. Still repping Daggy. I don't know how they can think they're a Zaggy. Or they might just wish to pretend. Let me pick your next flow like Wu-Tang's on the set though. You might want to protect your neck, bro. Cause every time I'm letting off a lyric, I'll be taking off a head, yo. Is Debs cold? Well, that's the silliest question, chilliest mentioned. Ever since rhymes came into invention. Exit on my entrance.
The king of my city for really.
Yo, they want 64 bars. I want 64 whips and yards. And I don't care if he thinks that he are, cause I'll laugh at your staff when I carve him in half. I'm positive like HIV. I'll bury MCs on SBTV. So deep that I'll only have the reason to me. To say hello to the demons for me. And don't think that I've just been signed. I'm still the most venomous crime MC. Cause I catalyse half of the scene into making songs with their heart on their sleeve. Don't tell your whole team that I'm iller. You can't see me like an Ethan Bastilla. That's why I find men hard to believe when they're talking Greece that are larger than me. So, if you've been heard of me, that's perjury. None of them men can verbally murder me or break in my doctor's surgery. Ransack the drugs and then get arrested for burglary. It's sick.
There we go.
Years ago, London, peace and love.
Big up, peace and love. Big up, Devlin. One more. Big up, Lady Ice.
Oh, when I say lady, when I say ice, lady. Watch it. Can't gatekeep, get a locksmith. My hood mates said to empty the boxes. I ain't from East like Ronnie and Roxy. I'm bare cocky, but I ain't cockney. From up north, but we move like foxes. Big eyes, put the kettle on. If you're watching Boxman like Donkey, you're a donkey. This man said he was the apple of my eye, but my B comes next and I want a CD. You don't got the balls, just talk out warm and his tune has changed, no MP3. He said I'm extra and exec shall be expect an exec to expand, exceed. So echoes the hood filled with fees, no G, the gang, you just full of gang. Now I'm gonna go from G to A and walk around the town like GTA. You show the man they ain't no G today. You think I'm only friends while fight for fame. Got me tears like Wu-Tang, whose hand hitting the bottle of 6 2 sharp. You run right the level with a you run black at the money and go 2 harm shoe gun.
Come on. Too hard. Last one. Obviously, the cover star of this amazing Trench magazine. Big up Trench for profiling DJ AG and giving him the platform that he deserves. Some really great pictures in there, really great article. I really, I really recommend you check it out. One quote in here in particular says, "I'll be honest, I don't know who most people performing are. I'm keeping it really 100%. I think that's probably the blessing for me because then no one's getting special treatment." Exactly. He doesn't even know who they are. He just provides a platform. Here's the set. Here's some decks. Here's a microphone. Here's a crowd. Here's an audience. Perform. Do your best. And who knows? Maybe you could become a star. So amazing. So big up DJ AG. Love and light to DJ AG as always. Love and light to DJ AG as always. You love to see it. You fucking love to see it. Anyways, people, that's it for me. That has been the Agostinho Zinga Show, episode number 837 with your host, Agostinho Zinga. If you've enjoyed the show, you like what you've seen what you like, you listen via the podcast app, you leave me a 5-star review. If you're watching via YouTube, make sure you like it. That'd be greatly appreciated. Links and everything else, the script will be in the description. If you want to leave me a comment, feel free to do so. There's a link to email me down below also. That'd be greatly received if you want to send me a little email. And my tune of the day, for those of you who care, my tune of the day is going to be the one and only Sahbabii, right? Sahbabii's new album, Shaheem, honestly, another contender for me for album of the year. Fucking phenomenal. One of my favorite tracks on this album is track number 12, which is Sylvan Road, Riding Downhill. I don't know. I legit think I might have played this 100 times since it's dropped. It's fucking phenomenal. Once you hear it, you'll know exactly why I like it. A phenomenal track on a really packed and stacked album full of hits after hits after hits. It starts off incredibly. The first 5 tracks will have your head spinning, but I honestly think, in my opinion, track 12 just completely blows everything else out of the water. That's my song of the day, Sylvan Road, Riding Downhill by Sahbabii from the album called Shaheem. Check it out. It's fucking phenomenal. Very ephemeral, euphoric, floaty, romantically aggressive hip-hop music. It's fucking phenomenal. I don't have to describe it. Just listen to the album. It's fucking beautiful. But thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. Love and light. And those of you tuning in live, random show right up next, but we're only going to be doing a watch along of the recent T-Fat-K. So thank you so much. I shall be with you in about 5 minutes. For the rest of you, take care. See you soon. Peace.